Hey, we are here with Terra Invicta,
Woo!
episode 87, I believe.
Yep.
Yeah, we're getting up there. It is time for some Dungeons and Dragons action, and in theory, this will be the last episode of season 8 of Terra Invicta. We'll see how much we get done today, but I can imagine that this could definitely be where we wrap everything up for the season. I really hope it is, because who knows whether or not we'll be able to play it in weeks to come here with Alyssa's impending baby. So we got to figure that out.
He's head down now, baby. It's any day.
Hey!
Could be during the stream, like I've always wanted.
Maybe.
Pending baby.
I thought that was funny too, Jordan.
Yeah. I just, that's Alyssa's band name, Impending Baby.
Impending baby. It is a good band name. I agree. All right. Who do we want to start with? We have Audrin is currently in the vault with staring at Deli. The rest of you, minus Anna, are on your ship on the Sea Wyvern, and you were trying to figure out what to do next. And then Anna is with Damien and the others, and Nestor and whatnot. And they ran from the scene and found a place to hide and hold down for a little while. I guess maybe we do start with Jordan, because I think depending on how long he takes to do things, that will probably matter in terms of I think most of your guys' plans is about waiting until the next day when you have all your spells and stuff, and then trying to go back.
My vote was to start with Audrin and Deli anyway, so that works out well.
Yeah, I think that's probably the best idea.
And I was telling Seth earlier, I was like, I really don't think there's anything on the ship at this moment for us to do, because I think we're gonna try to send a message to Audrin, which we can
we'll play out as soon as
but
cool.
yeah, I don't think that there's anything. I've already threatened Vren, and so that's pretty much all I needed to do.
Yeah, there you go. All right, cool. Well, let's jump back in media res with Jordan. And I guess I didn't do anything in these overlays. Technically, Seth is going to be playing Vren and Deli today.
Really?
I was saying early, there's a good chance I'm going to be talking to myself for a while.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so Audrin, the last thing that we saw.
There's Daryl's character sheet.
Yeah, I put it in her animal forms.
Yes.
Folder there.
It's just been a while since I've had to find it.
You should be fine talking to yourself. You've done puppeteer stuff before.
Yes. Right. That's right. I don't know if it will matter, but you did say I could level myself up, Deli up to level 16, right?
To 16, yes. So go ahead.
But given stuff we've talked about, I'm going to wait on that.
Okay. I mean, you don't have to, but okay.
Well, because the thing you messaged me about earlier.
I understand that, but
okay.
She would be level 16 right now, right? Yeah.
Okay, I'll level her up real quick as we're talking.
Yeah.
I don't think much will happen anyway.
No. Yeah. I'm gonna revisit the room description real quick to start us off, so we can get everybody's head back in the game here. So we last left off with Audrin unlocking the door with a 38, and then pushing it open and sees the following. The walls of this area are plated in what appears to be lead that shimmers with sparkling energy. A single long table sits against the wall immediately to the door's left. A few chairs sit nearby, and a spherical object the size of a human head sits atop the table, covered by a deep purple cloth. The contents of the rest of this room leave little doubt as to its purpose. Sacks of coins, sea chests too full to be properly closed, heaps of silks, suits of partially assembled armor, tapestries, mounds of fine furs and clothing, jewelry boxes, metal coffers, and racks of weapon line the port and starboard walls of the chamber, leaving an open area in the center where one might stand and admire the collection. This is, without a doubt, the treasury of the Crimson Fleet. Hanging at the far end of the room, suspended just above the floor by thick iron chains, is a large cylindrical cage of blackened steel. The metal glows faintly with shifting symbols, their light casting flickering reflections across the walls. Strange veins of warped dark wood are fused into the steel, forming twisted patterns along the bars, unnatural remnants of something once whole, now repurposed. At the points where the wood meets metal, the surface shimmers, as though resisting its own existence. And we see Deltheria Boskel hanging in that cage.
No, we're too late.
She is still alive. So Seth, would you like to describe Deli for us?
Well, should I find a well, give me a second. Well, no. I was expecting you to have something Friday for this.
Deli, just basically she's Deli, but like what are the changes that we see?
Deli looks completely and totally emaciated, beaten and bruised. In fact, at first you don't even recognize her, Jordan. Audrey doesn't at first even recognize her, but in the end it makes sense that this is the only person that it could be.
Yeah.
But in front of you, you do not see the Deli you knew, but a fully grown red female dragonborn.
She has 5 levels of exhaustion currently.
Yep.
Oh, only 5. Okay.
Only 5. Only one away from death. Only one away from death.
So Audrey, like you can tell right away, like she is at the very edge of her life force here, right? What do you do? Deli certainly does not respond to you right away, right? She's just like...
Can I like reach through the cage?
Do you walk into the room?
No.
Just making sure.
I mean, I'm still invisible.
You are, yeah.
I thought that I was like gonna walk into the room and like magically lock the thing behind me.
Oh, magically lock it? How?
I don't know. We said something about like with the I got a high enough roll with the lock picking that I
not
like,
magically, just closing it.
Well,
again,
yeah,
basically.
just closing it in.
Yeah, I think we did say something along the lines of like you could open it again without too much difficulty. I mean, did we say that? Actually, I don't know if we did. I don't remember.
We said that he could close it without much difficulty, like that nobody would be suspecting that he opened it, basically, because he got like a 38 lock picking.
Yes,
basically was the idea. But getting out again might be. You might have to.
Well, because what I'm wondering is, did you like there was a trap on the door? Did we ever say that
got
you
rid
just,
of the trap?
You disabled it entirely? Is that
Yeah.
what happened? Okay, I'm making sure.
I do want to know if do I notice any other traps in the room?
Not immediately. I would have told you. I was mainly asking to to do the D&D thing where are you sure you do that? So the one thing, Audrey, I think you are aware of is that you got high enough on that roll to know how difficult this lock is. So you can close it behind yourself. I don't think it will automatically lock itself unless you want it to. It will be obviously suspicious if someone comes to the door and expects it to be locked and it's not. If you do decide to lock it behind you, which you can do easily without a roll or anything, you can do so, but you will have to make the roll again to unlock the door. And mainly it will be about timing, right? If you're rushed for time, you'll have to make the check because it's hard enough and difficult enough that like it is an effort. It's a very complicated piece of machinery. So up to you, your decision. It is a DC 30 for the lock picking. So up to you if you want to risk that.
So if you
have the time to get out of the door, you won't have to make the check. But if you are rushed for time at all, you will have to make the check again.
I have one question.
Yeah.
How do I lockpick a door when I'm on the other side of the lock?
I guess it depends on what. I think it must be just a keyhole, right? I
mean, there's mage hand, but
whatever it is, I think. I mean,
it just seems.
That's a fair point.
Because I feel like I'd be basically imprisoning myself.
But I mean, if the door is like made to lock on both sides, like
that's the question, though. I don't know if it is. I feel like it makes sense that it would just lock. But I guess they don't necessarily want to risk locking themselves. No, but then they just have people who can unlock it for them. Yeah, I think you're right. I think it's possible. Like you can have a keyhole that goes both ways, and you could like put your instruments in there and unlock it. But it doesn't make sense that would be on a vault door. And this is very specifically built as a vault. So yeah, I think you're right. I think if you decide to lock it somehow, not that you even be able to, you could do it with Mage Hand. I think you said. But if you, you know what? Okay, let's say this. As long as you don't have to see where you're putting Mage Hand, do you?
Well,
remember.
I think that's the question, right? Because if you can like make Mage Hand go out of the door, then you can do this no problem, or at least with some difficulty. But you can make the check. Let's see.
Let me post
You choose.
Mage Hand.
Not you see. You choose within range. Yep.
Well, and then I
So-
have the Mage Hand Ledger main.
Yeah.
Lager-
Audryn, this is what I'll say. You can lock it behind you, no problem. If you decide to do so, it will be less suspicious. But if you are rushed for time at all and you need to unlock this fast, you will have to make the roll again. It's not going to be a one and done, let it ride sort of situation.
Yeah. So I would technically be able to get in and out again.
Yes. And as long as you have enough time to do so, you can do so without a check.
Okay. Before I do this, I want to very quickly see if I want to do a check on the cage that Deli is on.
Yes.
Well, no. Well, yeah, okay. Let's go ahead and do this. I want to do a check on the cage that Deli is on to see if there's just a lock that I can pick to free her.
Let me double check the notes that I have here. It doesn't seem to even have a door. So it is they made it very specifically, it looks like, for this purpose without any intention of ever opening it again. So, how about you make an Arcana check for me?
Yeah. Arcana!
Dang.
All right. 33 Arcana certainly tells you some things. One of which is there's something about the warped wooden inlays that are like kind of fused with the metal. You can tell immediately that they are the remnants of a destroyed planar artifact. So that's part of the anti-magic thing that's going on here. There's basically this entire thing is built like it's less of a cage for Deli and more like she was made into a battery or something like that, right? Like she is meant to. The cage itself is meant to keep her in here for all time and slowly feed off of whatever makes Deli and do something with it. So there's some planar artifact or whatever, some powerful magic artifact that was destroyed and then repurposed to make this metal cage. And so there's like weird kind of dimensional magic stuff happening here that you're not entirely sure. Like you can tell in terms of like a school of magic sort of instinctual knowledge, but you don't know exactly how it's being used. And there's obviously like necrotic and other like life draining sort of things happening here. It is also an anti-magic field, right? So anything inside of it, basically it's like feeding off of Deli and suppressing and draining her whatever magical potential she has. But yeah, it has no door, has no lock. It is made of metal and wood, this weird metal and wood fused together. So you will have to figure out some way to destroy it or deactivate it or whatever you want to do to try to get her out. But you can tell right away that just there's no like traps on it. But it just doesn't really seem to have any intention of being opened, right?
Yeah. Question.
So again, you're
Clarifying
Audryn,
question.
so you can try to finagle some weird magical thing, but
I have a question, a clarifying question. Is it only magic on the inside?
what do you mean by that?
Is the outside magic, or is it magic like starting from the inside of it?
I don't it's kind of, I would say that whatever field is being generated inside the cage. And that is anti-magic, basically, functionally. But the bars, the metal and wood of the cage itself are magical.
They are magical?
They are magical. Yeah.
They are magical, but they are not they're not within the anti-magic.
Yes, the anti-magic field is being generated just beyond and inside the bars of the cage.
All right. Do I know at a cursory glance, at a very quick cursory glance, would a dispel magic do the job on?
Dispel magic can dispel things that are like really high level, right? Did you have to make a check for it?
It has to be a very high check, I think.
The DC equals 10 plus the spell's level.
Yeah, I would say this is like 9th level spell. So you could indeed dispel magic on it, but it would be like a DC 19 check.
And then I would be using my spellcasting ability, which is intelligence, so it would be plus 5. So I'd only need a 14.
Oh, you have arcane lock. That's what you were talking about earlier. Jordan. Were you planning on closing the door, not locking it conventionally, like with its own lock, and then using arcane lock instead?
No, I don't have arcane lock prepared.
Oh, I see. Because that could have worked. Yeah, what are you thinking? And, at any point here, we can get sending from Benedict. Whenever you feel is appropriate, Takewee/Alyssa.
I think we sent one to Anna first, so it might be a few beats.
How do people recover from exhaustion?
Greater restoration.
Or a long rest.
But that only heals 1 point each.
I think it's 1 level of exhaustion per, yeah. Right now, at 5th level of exhaustion, Adeli cannot move. If you get her to 4th level of exhaustion, her speed is just halved instead of having 0 speed. But yeah, she can't really take long rests right now because she's hooked up to an arcane battery. That is like perpetually keeping her at 5 levels of exhaustion and like half of her hit points and no spell slots. Because it's draining her magic.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Luckily, when she got captured, she had greater restoration prepared. So it's still one of my prepared spells.
Yeah, you can get those back somehow.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, you otherwise in the room you just see lots and lots of treasure.
I think my only option here is to get inside of here and hunker down.
Okay. Are you closing the door behind you?
Yeah.
Locking it?
Yep.
All right. Are you doing rope trick now?
No, I was going to, but I used my last spell on invisibility, or at least it says 0 now when I thought that I had 1 left, but
That's dangerous.
That is dangerous. So you're just gonna be invisible for a while and then hope, like, I guess, Scrooge McDuck into one of the gold piles.
That's kind of what I'm
hide.
do.
Yeah, I think there are places you could hide.
Yeah,
I mean,
I'll
Jordan,
be hiding in
how
here.
do you go ahead and do that? How about you make a stealth check for us, just to see how well
Okay.
your spot is that you've chosen to hide in?
Well, I'm probably. I mean, I know. Well, so there's piles and piles of gold and treasure. Is there any?
I described like tapestries, mounds of fine furs and clothing, racks of weapons, sea chests.
The tapestries are where?
Hanging on the wall. You can literally just like hide behind the tapestry on the wall, right?
Yeah. Question. Could I do that while long resting?
Yeah,
I can hide behind the
you
tapestry
can't
wall.
stand there, but you could probably do it in such a way, and this will be determined by your stealth roll, but you can probably do it in such a way where like the tapestry is hanging over something, like a sea chest or something, and it just looks like it's bulged outward, but you're actually sitting behind it, like resting, slumped against the wall.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Gosh
how do you go
darn
make
it,
a stealth check?
I need advantage though. Gosh darn it.
Do you have an idea on how you could get advantage?
Cry. No, could I guidance myself? Okay.
Yes? Question mark? Let's check.
It says target is one willing creature. Concentration up to a minute.
I assume so, yeah.
We'll definitely do that. For advantage.
Mhm.
What if? Oh, remember my my armor can do like the color changing thing.
Oh,
Like,
yeah,
so
you have glamour.
I'm gonna
armor,
match
yeah.
the tapestry.
Yeah, there you go. There you go. Sure. Yep, you can take advantage. That makes sense.
Sweet. All right.
All right.
Plus a 4.
25. Yeah, go ahead and add that D4. All right, but this will be the check. If someone comes in here and tries to sniff you out, that's what they got to get, right?
You rolled pretty well too. You rolled an 18.
Yeah.
All right, cool. So Audryn is hiding in the corner over here.
Also, while I'm here out and about and doing this thing, I'm gonna go ahead and just cast a spell magic and see if I can just break
might
this
as well.
now.
Sure. All right. So you cast a spell magic, and then you're rolling your spell casting ability.
Yeah. Which is intelligence.
Yeah, so intelligence check, and we'll see if you can get a 19.
2, 4, 6, 8. Please intelligate.
Yay, nice. That was a really good roll. Okay, yeah. So I mean, Audryn, I assume you're doing this before you would have set up your stealth, right? Like you
Yes.
think about setting up your stealth, and then you're like, well, let's try. Just, it's probably not gonna work, but let's just try. And you see the defenses fail. And I think this is a temporary thing. Like they've set this up as like a very permanent artifact room sort of thing, but you have enough time to do something now to try to break the cage or whatever you want to do to try to there's no magic. Deli, you feel yourself come out of a fog that you've been in for so so long. Like everything has been a blur and a fog, and you feel like you've just been lost in a dream for so long. And you have 5 levels of exhaustion. You're, so beaten and tired, but you are conscious and aware of your surroundings now.
Okay.
Audryn is invisible as far as I am aware, but
Yes.
Well, no, because you just cast a spell magic.
true. Yeah. So the first thing you see, Deli, is Audryn standing in front of your cage.
Audryn?
Audryn just like puts a finger up to his lips and like winks at her.
And like, Deli, you must have dreamed this before. You feel like you've had vivid dreams that turn into nightmares where you think you're being rescued by your friends, but then it turns out it's just Alisan torturing you again. Right? Like, so you probably don't even believe it at first.
Yeah.
I is what is her health like?
So I basically the two things that are true about Deli is all of her spell slots are gone because she doesn't have any magic, and she has 5 levels of exhaustion. Everything else about her character is the same as it was, but having 5 levels of exhaustion means like disadvantage on everything, and also she has half of her maximum hit points instead of the full.
I just saw that you had that in the.
Yeah, it's in there for you.
I know there already.
Yep, anything that exhaustion does is on there.
I'm just gonna put temporary hit points -82.
Is that gonna work?
Well, it just that way we don't have to change my maximum.
Okay.
It'll just show like I've got.
Well, that's what I'm wondering. I'm wondering if it will actually show that properly.
Probably not.
Yeah.
I just wanted to show that my hit points were halved.
If I can open Deli's character sheet. So in terms of exhaustion, she has disadvantage on ability checks. Her speed is reduced to 0. She has disadvantage on attack rolls and saving throws, and her hit point maximum is halved.
Okay. What kind of magic items are in this room?
A lot of different ones. I would say, Audryn, with only a cursory check around, you do see all of the stuff that Deli had on her in her bag of holding scattered around the room, like her sickle and her
Adamantine armor.
Yeah, any of her stuff, and then any of the other stuff of yours that she was carrying. Among other fun magic items, I'm sure. But you'd have to you can make an investigation check if you wanted to find the real good stuff fast.
I'm looking for something that can break.
Oh yeah, sure.
This.
See if I can do a quick Googling.
I don't see anything I had on my character sheet that would help.
It's metal and wood, right?
It is, yeah.
So it's gonna be pretty sturdy. How sturdy?
Depends. Depends on me, I suppose. But nothing jumps to mind immediately. As a default, I can figure that out if you are planning on breaking it. But if you can find a
how long? Do I know how long I have disabled this thing?
It's mostly by vibe and narrative. I'll let you know when you know it's about to run out. You have minutes, not longer.
Okay.
If you could find some universal solvent. That's a magic item that can help.
Okay. Can you describe the nature of can you describe the nature of the anti-magic?
The nature of the anti-magic is
the field that's created.
Yeah, the field that gets created is basically, it's functionally anti-magic, which means you can't cast spells that would target her or anything like that, or spells can't go off in there. But it's also the reason it's doing that, it's kind of it's so first it's taking her magic, it's draining it out, and then whatever else it's doing is kind of inverting the effect, right? It's because she has no magic and she has this weird thing going on with her stomach, it's an anti-magic field is generated by that interaction.
Okay.
So it's almost a byproduct and not necessarily the original intention of the.
I have a really weird idea and a really weird question.
Okay.
So currently there's no anti-magic thing on it, on the inside.
Yeah. Currently there's no anti-magic field.
Could I use a pit on the bottom of the cave? Let me finish.
I wonder when that was going to come out.
Use a pit on the bottom of the cage, and then if she's down in the pit area that is now created, when the anti-magic field kicks back on, does it only kick up in the area that she was in?
I think that's what will happen, yeah.
Yay!
I'm not sure. Okay, so we really do need to really hone in on what this actually does now, though, because I don't know how you get her out from that. Right? What does creating a pit do? I need to figure out this pit 5e. Robe of useful items.
The season, it's the Terra Invicta has been all about that coat.
Very true.
All of our best things have come from.
I see. Okay.
This robe for sure.
Wait.
Window.
I just came up with a good Jordan music line for this.
Okay.
I love my mom, but it's the season of the pits. There we go. Okay, goodbye.
So the difference between pits and the pits in the windows is you can't put a pit on a vertical surface. You can't put a window on a horizontal surface. right? The pit has to go on a horizontal surface. The window has to go on a vertical surface. So you can put it on the floor of the cage. But I really am. You know what? I think. Oh, this is really tricky because the description I gave was hanging at the far, suspended just above the floor. I think the pit would probably be, given the size of the pit, it would go into the floor, but it is still like originating from the cage itself. So like, I don't know if there's like a crack anywhere to get her out of the pit, right? It's just that she would be below the cage. And I guess you could like throw some stuff into her through the cage, but like other than that, what are you thinking? Is that enough for what you need to do, or?
Well, okay. So first of all, you said it feed like the anti-magic and everything. It works and it feeds off of her and being in there
that's
and her
true.
magic.
Yeah, if it activates again and she's not there, yeah.
So what happens when it turns on or it tries to turn on if she's not there? Does it like just not work? Does it corrode in on itself?
Yeah, good question.
So that's one. Number two is I could take her stuff and just like feed it in through the anti-magic field. She could take it and then at least have all her stuff down there. Mm-hmm. And she'd be able to long rest down there and get like start losing points of exhaustion.
Okay. Yeah.
You're not going to have 8 hours in here. There's no way.
Up to you what you want to try. Seems pretty tenuous to me.
Huh?
Seems pretty tenuous to me when you could just like break the thing, right?
But how do I break the thing? I've got to find something to break the thing. So that's just one idea.
Okay, yeah. Let's do this. Let's have you make an investigation check. And see if you can find a magic item that can help you here, right? And see how high you get.
2, 4, 6, 8. Please investigate.
Oh, too bad you didn't have advantage. Oh, that's so rough. Yeah, I can't think of any reason you would. So with an 18, you can find like some of the stuff that was your guys's, but you're gonna have to make do with like whatever that can offer you. So yeah, the pit is one option. You could just try, like you do have magic weapons. You can just try attacking the cage, right?
Yeah, but attacking the cage with a rapier doesn't really make sense.
Yes.
What I'm going to do is stab the wood to death? Like,
it wouldn't be too difficult with it, even with the 18, to just find a magic hammer or sword or whatever.
A hammer would be better.
You could at least find like a +1 warhammer. There's lots of stuff in this room. But yeah, 18 means you don't find like the perfect magic item to solve your problem here. No universal solvent. Yeah. If you had gotten that crit 35, then of course. But
well, I can't always beg for advantage.
Yep.
Wait a sec.
Yeah, you have any like spells that would help? Any?
Hold on.
When did you get a +4 breastplate?
It's a good question.
You have that in your character sheet right now.
After I got the bag of holding, evidently.
You also have it marked equipped.
It is equipped?
Is that changing your armor class at all?
That would change
It is. Is there a reason you would have had 19 not... Like, it goes down to 16 if I uncheck the breastplate.
Maybe we have the...
Was that something with Surge?
No, I don't think so. How do you get your AC? How do you add it up?
Well, I think that was it. I think it was that breastplate.
Yeah, I think you're right because
how do you get
you
it?
only
You
have
had to have gotten it for some reason, unless you did it on accident.
Well, yeah. What I mean is, like, I don't think he can wear it and do his rogue stuff
That's what I was wondering.
right?
Medium
Is the
armor.
issue. Yeah, what is it? What does it breastplate do?
It's just +4 bonus to AC while wearing the armor. Then it was medium armor.
Does
Nope.
medium armor have an automatic like disadvantage? Or how does that work? How do we know what gives disadvantage?
It's just heavy armor.
The breastplate's just medium armor?
Yeah, I think it's just like heavy armor plate mail.
Let me check.
Yeah.
Medium
No
armor.
disadvantage on stealth.
If you wear medium armor, you add your dexterity modifier to a maximum of +2. So that's
yeah.
So that is the max he has. So it actually is useful.
Yeah.
Doesn't no dex. Where are you seeing this? Oh, here you
Seeing
go. Stealth disadvantage. It has it specifically on. Yeah, no breastplate. Okay, yeah. You had it on there intentionally because you are wearing a +4 breastplate and it is giving you 19 armor class. Cool. I just want to make sure. I was like, I don't remember this.
Yeah. Okay. I was just wondering. Oh, sorry. I was reading through the Iron Bands of Bolaro. I was just wondering if I use that on Deli, would it like be big enough that would just break through the cage? And then I thought for a second, well, what if I just use it on the cage and just tried to like Pokeball the cage?
Wait a second. Who has that item?
Me.
Oh, that's what I was just
you,
remembering.
You have the band, but you don't have like the bands of whatever it's called. You don't have an iron flask, which is the Pokeball you're thinking of, right?
Oh, right. The bands just capture them. They don't
captures
actually...
It captures her in a bands of iron, but it does not put her in a magic item.
Right, but I was wondering if I threw it, would it like create like, oh, this ball is XX, certain amount big, and then if it's big enough, is it just going to break through the?
It is huge or smaller creature.
Yeah, I think it just shapes to however big the creature is, so it would just shape to Deli.
Yeah, I can't do an object, just a creature.
Yeah,
that is a clever idea though. Just take the entire cage with you. Yeah, I don't remember who has an iron flask. I feel like someone got it at some point, but
I think we just talked about it. I don't
think anybody actually got it.
But yeah, iron flask is actual Pokeball. Except you can fit multiple creatures in it. Yeah, that would have been a good idea. Well, you can just attack it. I part of it is just like figuring out what the best option for that is.
Yeah,
I'll figure out what the like hardness and health and stuff if it is.
Okay, and then I guess whatever the +1 hammer.
Yes, yeah, you could use that if you want.
Would I have better chances of breaking it with that than my rapier, which I would have a much better roll with?
Probably not. I mean, according to the rules, yes, but it's a rapier. Let me figure out the material. Let's see. So I'm wondering. Yeah, there we go. That's what I'm looking for. Because usually materials in D&D also have like a break DC, where it's just like you roll this one athletics check and can you break it? Let me double check how that works. Because right, you can either just hit it over and over again with attacks, or let's see. Yeah, magic weapon is what you need here. Where is the rule for this? Yeah, okay. I think that's probably a good place to start, is just you grab that magic hammer and you try to smash it, like bend the bars open in one big hit, like just slam through I guess not bend, but like break them off, right? Slam a hole in the thing. And then if that doesn't work, then we know you have to chip away at it instead. That makes sense?
Okay.
What do you got for like strength stuff, like athletics?
0. Oh, athletics is 5.
Okay, cool. You will have to get a critical success to break through the thing. But yeah, let's start there. Let's see if you can do it. You want advantage? Do you want to figure out advantage for this one?
I mean,
You
it
can
would
steady
probably-
aim.
Oh, that's true. Well, this doesn't attack. It's an abstraction. For his actual, if he has to chip away at the thing, then he can do steady aim.
Did we discuss like whether Audrin sabotaged the like? So as we talked about how Audrin had the, like, he stole the schematics or whatever for the,
Yeah,
not an airship, but whatever the big war machine was.
was it? I only remember you seeing something about the Shadow Pearls.
No. This is way, or like before campaign, when he was
Right.
Was it the Shadow Pearls that he saw like the plans for?
I think so. I don't think they were building an airship. I don't think.
Oh well, we
would
know
be
that. I
building-
know what they weren't building an airship, but we had.
I
thought we said it
can't
was
think
something.
of I honestly it would have either been a, like the three things, because this was Xiao Fa you would have been seeing the schematics from, right? The three things I can think of is it was either something about the Shadow Pearls, something about the Wake Portals, right? The things you can affix to ships to have them like transport to other planes, or something about his cloning tank. I don't think he was working on anything else. I can't think of he wasn't doing any sort of thing with war machines of any sort. So
Okay. So what did I? So I thwarted something.
I really don't remember. It has been
Yeah.
so long.
Yeah.
Probably in our messages somewhere. Wonder if I just type in the word schematic in there, if it'll come our blueprint.
Hmm.
Any other thoughts?
No. My thought was going to be like just backstory of Audrin's like broken stuff on purpose before, but I mean, I guess he like didn't have that moment of not just like stealing the schematics or whatever, but ruining the machine.
I found where we talked about it in our messages. You said you were looking for you stole some blueprint stuff. And so I said, so I think you stole a map with various cities marked on it across the world. And you have a general idea that the Crimson Fleet was going to try to do something bad at these cities. But I think that's all you know. And that was obviously Shadow Pearl stuff.
Okay.
The situation that led you to you stealing and escaping with it was a blur, and you only caught snippets, I think. Let me look through this and see if we changed that at all. It doesn't seem like it.
I don't think so.
Yeah, that's the only time we talked about it. So,
Doesn't matter.
oof, close, but no cigar on that. If you had advantage, at least. Yeah. So
So you said that I had to get a crit.
right, I know. 20 was close to 25, which was the roll you had to make. That's what I'm saying.
Oh, well.
But yes, you failed. Yeah, so you slam this thing into, you slam the hammer into the bars, and it doesn't snap like you hoped, right? It doesn't like punch a hole in it. And the sound is very loud. You know that you can keep chipping away at it, and you could probably eventually, especially with steady aim, you can probably eventually break it. But it is very loud. So, up to you if you want to risk being caught in here.
Can I use my rapier to like stab and chip away at the wood and like break it from the metal bar parts, or like?
I think the whole thing is basically one super hard magic material.
Okay.
Right? Like I don't think there's much hope for trying to think that the wood is a weakness and chipping away at it. Like it's magically, well, I guess you did dispel it.
Temporarily.
Yeah. I'll tell you what, Audryn, I'll let you do it. I'll let you use your rapier. And we can say that that's basically what you're doing. It's less loud. But you do have a certain amount of hits before your time runs out, right?
Yeah. Which thankfully I get 3 hits per turn.
Per turn, yeah.
And now I can steady aim. Right? Is that what you said? Or no, with the steady aim?
Yeah, you can steady aim. Yep.
Okay. So
it's only one attack though, right?
Right.
You get the advantage on.
This one.
Yeah, that misses. Did you want to just keep attacking the cage?
I could, yeah.
You still have like two attacks in this round.
With a 24 hit.
24 hits.
Do I need to roll damage?
Yes, because the way that attacking an object works. Oh, I need to open this up again. Is that it has a certain amount of hit points, but it also has a damage threshold. And if you do less than that damage threshold, it does no damage at all. So that'll probably determine whether or not this is a viable strategy. So go ahead and roll the damage. We'll see how much you can get. All right, with the 13. Oh yeah, I need to figure out the difference here.
Okay, I'm back.
We have already jumped back into it since we're focused on Audryn anyway.
Okay.
I'm trying to decide how mean to be. I'll give it to you. I think the hardness on this is 10. So you only did 3 damage. But you did do damage to it. And I think so I know how much hit points the material has that you need to break through. But so go ahead and roll another attack and we'll see how long it takes. There you go. All right, so no damage that time. Miss.
This would be the second turn.
Yep. Hit. No damage. That one missed. Hit. 1 damage. So is that 2 turns?
Yeah, and I should have used steady aim.
I assumed you were using it on the first attack.
Oh, well then I should have used sneak attack.
Can you get sneak attack against an inanimate object? What does sneak attack say? Doesn't it say creature?
If you have advantage.
Well.
Oh, yeah, I guess.
Right, that's the difference. I don't know what it can target.
Let me find sneak.
To one creature. Yeah, it's not a object. That's what I thought. Because you're like hitting weak points and stuff. In people's anatomy, not.
Yeah.
Yeah. So as it stands right now, with the 2 turns you have under your belt, which is about 12 seconds, right? You are getting somewhere, but you're not sure. It will come down to the wire. Like, it's not. I don't think it's making enough sound that you're worried about warning anyone yet. But I think it will kind of come down to the wire as to whether or not you can damage it enough before the magic engages again. So let's do this. We'll figure out an exact round now, an exact round amount before it'll expire. The dispel magic will stop working. What do we think that we roll here? I'm thinking like a D something plus whatever. I said minutes, and you've been fiddling around with stuff for a little bit.
I mean,
D4 or D6?
for the fact that it was like he was able to dispel a 9th level spell, but then it's also a 9th level spell, so I feel like it's gonna be pretty.
So I mean, but how long did he really spend like investigating? Seems like he didn't spend that much time investigating for like a weapon, since he just ended up using his own rapier anyway. So
let's see, 10 rounds per minute.
Right.
Let's do, how about I roll 3d6? And that's how many rounds he has remaining. So could be a lot, could not be a lot, depending on factors. But it has the potential of being like at least a minute or more.
Plus
that makes
nothing.
Sense? You saying 46?
3d6.
Is that what you're arguing, Audrey?
No, I'm just thinking, it's gonna end up being 3.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
That's why I'm like, can it be 3d6 plus like 3?
Yeah, that makes sense. 3d6 plus 3 makes sense.
Minimum of 6 minutes.
No, minimum of 6 rounds.
Oh, right.
He's not talking minutes, he's talking rounds.
So, so if you do 3d6, like let's say you get 6, right?
Wait. So 6.
Then that would only be.
Should it be 3d10 plus 3 for minutes?
Yeah,
like
because
up to 3 minutes plus 3.
Right. That's what I was thinking. Because like if you only do 18, because then the max you would get is 18, right? Let's say you do a 3d6. That's 18. That's only 108 seconds. That's less than 2 minutes.
Yeah, 3d10 makes sense.
Okay.
Let's do this. I'll do it as 3d10 plus 7. So the lowest you're going to get is 1 minute, 10 rounds, right? No, sorry. Yeah, that's how it works. Yeah, 10 rounds, and the highest you could get is some amount of maybe 3-ish minutes,
like around
or whatever.
3-ish minutes. That makes sense.
That makes sense to me. All right, you have 18 rounds to do this. We'll just take them down one by one as we go here. Again, your rapier does not do a whole lot of damage, so this is still like it's possible you just whiff all of these and are not able to do it. But let's do some rapid rolling here and see if we can do it. Roll all 3 attacks for 1 round at a time, and we'll assume I think the first one is steady aim, right?
Would Firebolt be better?
How much damage can it do?
3d10 fire.
Undoubtedly better, yeah.
But I only get 1 of those per turn.
Yes.
Oh. Yeah. What's your damage for? Let's see, 1d8 plus 5. Oh, yeah, that's rough, dude. I think you're going to have to take the chance with Firebolt, because if the max you can do is 13 damage. No, the max you can do is 14. Up to you. That's not a lot of damage per round.
Can you still steady aim with Firebolt? Or does it have to be a melee weapon?
I don't.
I
guess
it
that's
has
a
to
question.
be a finesse weapon or something. No, actually, that's not right. Let's check.
Steady aim, as a bonus action, you give yourself advantage on your next attack roll on the current turn.
So then that might be worth it then, because then you get advantage. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay, so Firebolt?
I think so.
That'll be easier to do too, instead of 3 attacks per round.
I think Audrey's like, what am I doing?
Yeah, exactly. Just magic. Okay, go for it. First hit hits. Our AC is 21, by the way. So All right, there you go. See, right? Like 16 damage on it. What did you do before?
Does
You've
the
done a
hardness
total
count
of...
for fire? Does the hardness count for fire damage as well? Caleb,
Say again?
does the hardness count for fire damage as well?
Yes. It's mostly metal.
Oh, right.
Right? It's not pure wood. Okay, so right now you have... I'm trying to think of how many inches this is. Because the armor, the HP is usually calculated by inch of thickness of the material. Do we think it's thicker than... It's probably thicker than 1 inch, but it's not maybe super thick. Maybe let's say 2 inches. That you have to get through. So let's do this. So you have
4 plus 16, so 20.
So you have 10 more hit points of the first inch of thickness that you have to defeat, and then you need to get another 30 hit points of damage. So I think it's doable. It's definitely doable, especially with Firebolt. The amount of damage you do.
So 17 more.
Yep. And it said you have advantage that hits. All right, 2 out of 30 left. Hit. Nice. So we got... I think we'll just... Once you get through the inch, it resets, and I don't think it automatically gives you more damage on the next one. So you got 30 out of 30 now.
Wait, it resets? It's literally a door that he's just blasting.
I wanted to make it slightly harder.
Sorry.
No, you're probably right. Let's see, what was the... I just mainly just didn't want to do math, really. That was really what it was.
It's 27. 3.
Look,
27.
Caleb,
I'll do the math for you.
I appreciate your honesty, and honestly, I would have given it to you because of I would have wanted to do.
I just wanted to keep going. No, go ahead. Hit. So no damage that time. Hit. 7. So we're at 20 out of 30.
20 out of 30 now.
How many rounds do we have left?
13.
Okay, thank you. Emily, would you be a counter for us? Round counter?
Sure.
Go ahead. That one miss. That one hits. No damage. That one misses.
No.
That one hits. All right, 11. So we're at 9 out of 30. You just need 9 more hit points of damage and you do it. All right, 5 out of 30. Hit. There
Plus
you go.
14.
So I think as it stands right now, how many rounds do you have left, Emily?
7, I think. Let me make
7.
Sure. Yeah, 7 left.
7 left. Okay. Jordan, this is the choice you have. You can squeeze her out of it at this point, but I think it will be, if you want to try to take those 7 rounds to get another section cleared out, it'll be easier to get her out.
Yeah.
You still have 7 rounds before. Hit. Miss.
6.
Yeah. Hit. All right. So 29 out of 30 remaining. Hit. 21 out of 30 remaining.
Wait. Can we take away the extra damage that he did? Can you do
From
another
the
9
24.
damage to the next one?
Oh, yeah.
So another 9 damage.
All right.
So
So
12
we're
out of
at
30.
12, yep. How many does he have left? 5 rounds?
4.
4. Miss. All right, we're coming down to the wire here. Hit. Okay, 3. So we're at 9 out of 30. Hit.
There you go.
14. There you go. All right. So yeah, again, I think it came down
And then I
close
used
to
the
it.
last 2 rounds to attack Deli. No, I'm just kidding.
She dies. Yeah, so I think what this means is, like, Audryn, you can tell, like, as soon as it starts getting down to those last rounds, you can tell that, like, the magic is starting to, it's going to reactivate soon here. I start to feel a presence of magic start to reinvigorate the room. But by that point, the, like, front of the cage has been blasted open, right? And Firebolt is careful enough, right? It's, like, just against a particular target that you don't have to worry too much about like, you didn't have to worry about hurting Deli during that process. You were just kind of lasering it open with firebolt. Cool. So, Deli, I mean, you're witnessing this whole thing. You're kind of out of it, but what is Deli doing?
Probably still not believing this is happening.
Mm-hmm.
She's probably waiting for any minute for like the figure of Alicent to pop through the door and kill Audryn in front of her or something like that.
Uh-huh. Yeah, exactly.
And I feel like you just had 2 minutes straight of just watching fire coming onto the
She might be.
cage,
Well, I mean, she's a red dragonborn. She's not really scared of of fire, but
I feel like that's just I would feel super hallucinating at that point of now there's just a bunch of fire.
Firebolt in front of you. Yeah. So Audryn, you're just gonna drag her out. What's the plan? You only have a few rounds before it activates again, right? So
yeah, no, I pull her out immediately.
sounds good. Yeah, so you drag Deli out onto the floor. And Deli, what do you do?
Well, she can't do anything.
Oh, yes, that's true. You're 5 levels of exhaustion. So I assume you're just carrying her, right, Audryn?
I am. I would like to take another glance around the room to see if there's anything that I could do that would any magic item here that might help her.
I mean, let's be real. It's Deli. You can just feed her treasure in general, and that will help, right?
Oh yeah.
I love everyone's faces as they realize that. I was wondering when people are gonna remember that.
I forgot. It's been so long.
Yeah, but
also,
I think your
that's probably when you get the message, Audryn, are you okay?
Yeah.
All right, and then Audryn very quietly responds, "I'm fine. I have Deli, and I'm working on a plan to get us out of here."
So then that's when Takeweek goes up to Ren and is like, I told you she was behind that door, you little coward.
Audryn told me to leave.
You asked him. He didn't tell you.
He's my boss.
You're a coward, Ren.
Okay.
Fight. Yeah, so Audryn, are you gonna feed her some treasure? Or are you gonna... What do you think?
Do it. Feed her treasure.
Caleb,
grab her stuff.
I know I've said this a lot this session and last session as well. I have a weird question.
Okay, all right. I love weird questions.
Can I cast a spell into her stomach?
What?
Can you cast a spell into her stomach? Is that the question you
so
just
she
asked?
absorbs the spell?
Cast firebolt into her stomach?
I was thinking, what if I cast sleep into her stomach? Would that relieve some of her exhaustion?
No.
Just open wide.
Yeah, no.
Okay, you guys cannot respond to Jordan's ideas like this. Okay? This is not the response that he deserves. Okay? We need to be encouraging with this because what did it get it last time? It got us Deli. Okay? Mm-hmm. So stop with this.
I love Jordan's ideas.
I know, but some of these people who just reacted to this went, no. No. The answer is, that was a really cool thought. Sleep, curing exhaustion. She eats magic things. Cool idea, but I don't think that would work.
That was a really good thought there, Jordan. Let's try again.
Thank you.
I appreciate that. All right, I want to do the same thing, but instead I want to use Witch Bolt.
There we go. Let's just keep trying.
What spells do you have?
Are you serious?
No, just feed her the treasure.
Yeah, I'm just gonna.
No, yeah, I was gonna say if you don't have some clear spell that helps people. Yeah, I mean,
I have Cure Wounds.
Yeah, that's not going to help her. She's not actually wounded. Yeah, she needs exhaustion back. So if you don't have restoration, greater restoration or whatever, prepared,
that's why I was saying using sleep into her stuff, letting her absorb that and see what that does.
No, but if you give her treasure, she can get a spell slot and then just cast greater restoration on herself.
But she's got 5 levels of exhaustion. She can't do anything.
Oh well, she can cast spells talk. As long as she gets spell slots back. She can't move and she has disadvantage on everything.
Well, let's find a random magic item in here.
Find a bunch of items and a bunch of diamonds.
Because, if you couldn't move your mouth, then you wouldn't be able to eat or drink to,
Yeah, she has a speed of 0, which means according to the rules, she can't move from her square.
If you technically can't move, you can't breathe. If we're being
that's
technical,
not what we're saying.
No muscles can move. The movement speed is just 0.
Exactly.
Okay, so I get her out, and then I just like grab a handful of nearby treasure, and I go bottoms up.
Yeah. Deli?
Okay, Caleb. How have we decided what all happens?
So I'm assuming what happens here is Deli greedily slurps down the treasure you give her immediately, right? This is an instinctual thing she's done for a long time, and as soon as it's near her mouth and she smells the gold, she just slurps it right down her esophagus, right? Not esophagus. Esophagus.
But how many does she? We given what we talked about earlier, does she just gain spell points? Does she? You mentioned losing exhaustion levels.
It depends on how much you eat, and that is my question for both of you. Is I think Deli just keeps eating as long as she's able to. Like that, as soon as she gets that sniff and starts that and swallows that first bit, she's just gonna keep eating. Like instinctually, just grab whatever's around her. If you give her some, she's gonna eat it, and that will go on for as long as you let it, Audrine. How does this work?
Here's an important question. Before all of this happened, Jordan, which magic items did you grab?
I took all of her stuff. I'm not going to let her... Here's my stipulations. I'm not going to let her eat any of my stuff, my magic items.
Yeah.
I'm not going to let her eat any of her own items.
Yep.
And isn't there a thing for scrying in here?
Oh, the orb thingy in the middle of the room.
Oh, yeah. Let me find the details on that again. Are there not details on this?
You don't need to be going and eating any orbs.
Yeah, I assume it's like a crystal ball of scrying or something along those lines. It's not detailed in the... No, here we go. Yeah, the spherical object on the table is a crystal ball with telepathy.
Yeah, so I'm taking that one. That's going in my bag of holding right now. Wait, actually, I want to make sure that there's nothing freaky or bad about it. So if I steal it, they're not going to be like, we can track him.
Sure. Do you want to make, I don't know Arcana? What that check would be. Arcana, I guess? Yeah, sure. Is this item cursed? With a 21, you're reasonably certain it's not cursed. You'd have to do identify or whatever to know for sure.
I could actually do... I have it prepared. I could do identify right now.
Yeah.
Just take it, identify it, and then if we need to, we'll dump it later.
Okay. I'll just put it in the bag of holding. I will mage hand to pick it up and grab it and put it in my bag of holding.
Yep, nothing weird happens there. It doesn't explode or anything.
Okay.
But yeah, in terms of the rest of the stuff in the room, it's basically lots of loose coins, gems, jewelry, nice weapons and armor, even if they're not magical, rare silks and furs, fine clothing and tapestries, rare and exotic alcohol, gold and silver bars. There's I think as far as as this keeps going, I don't know if let's say this. I think we don't need to necessarily play out every moment of okay, you ate this amount of gold and now you get this amount back. I think we pretty quickly get a Deli slurps down a bunch of gold, gets a spell slot back, casts greater restoration on herself.
Here is the thing, and here's where things get complicated. How many times am I casting greater restoration?
I think for now we're just going to assume the 1, because then you can move, right? That's the important bit.
Okay, well then here's my surge.
Yeah.
Oh no.
You have to surge?
Yes. Because I can only restore spell slots on a short rest. Here's the problem. Here's where things get messy.
Yeah, I gotta
Maybe it'll be a teleport spell if we're lucky.
Here we go.
Gain 1 point of exhaustion.
Seriously, you rolled a 1 on a D100?
Yep.
Oh no.
Yeah. This is why I'm here's where things get messy. This is why I was hoping for Jordan
nothing
to
happens. Nothing happens, Seth.
Okay.
You feel Deli feels a wild magic surging up within her, but the cage is reactivated, and Audrine, you realize maybe now at this point that it's the whole room has reactivated too in a way, right? It's still whatever was latent in its walls from Deli is still active, and there is actually a spell preventing the surge that she just activated, that type of magic. So it doesn't actually go off.
Oh, really?
I'll tell you what it is in the after show, what happened, but I don't want to give it away yet.
Okay. So
you feel like a surge start to, but you start to move around, and I assume that Deli just starts gobbling down stuff, right?
Deli's gonna keep eating, and she's going to go and just eat everything that she sees.
Does she eat the cage?
Maybe not the cage.
Probably not the cage, yeah.
But she starts eating the loose treasure.
Yeah, Audrey, if you want to keep anything else,
that's why I asked him beforehand. Like,
there aren't any magical cool pistols in here, are there?
With your 18 investigation you got earlier, probably not.
Okay.
And then, like, if there's any diamonds, save the diamonds.
Like, you're looking around the room right now. I'll tell you specifically what the adventure tells me is in here. 150,000 copper pieces, 55,000 silver pieces, 14,000 gold pieces, 650 platinum pieces, 5,000 GP in gems and jewelry, 4,000 GP in masterwork weapons and armor, 2,100 GP in rare silks and furs, 2,800 GP in fine clothing and tapestries, 3,000 GP in rare and exotic alcohol, and 8,000 GP in gold and silver bars. The total value of this incredible treasure is 52,400 GP. And it also says here, in addition, and this was in the original venture, which is why I did this, in addition, the gear of any captured PCs have been placed here for storage. So that's why all of Deli stuff is here as well.
Now, question. So does Deli realize that her surges won't go wild in here?
You felt a surge well up within you, and it got suppressed somehow. It's up to Deli how she interprets that. It's not necessarily meaning that any surge is going to be suppressed. I won't confirm or deny that
specific effect.
Would Audrin have know about this?
I don't think you knew it.
I wonder if it was going to be something like destructive, and they are protecting the things inside the vault, so it can't be like destroyed. I don't know.
You already know that like divination spells are blocked in this room. So that it might just be that or something else. You're not sure.
I need to find. I think Deli would start looking. Or would she? She needs to find her. She needs to wait. Oh. Wait, Audrin found her gear?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Caleb, have we established that the orange that restores her spell slots can only be on a long rest? Or is it just once per day?
What do you mean?
We have the orange of Madoc. We established that's how she regains her higher level spell slots.
Mm-hmm.
But have we established that was only on the long rest that she's with it, or is it just once per day she can recharge her spell slots? I can't remember.
I don't particularly care what the difference is right now. I'm fine with just saying it happens if you want to eat that.
Okay, Orange of Madoc gives advantage on religion checks, retaining a mage, can recharge her magic, so maybe it's just a once per day thing. In this case,
likely.
She sees Audrin with her gear. She'll quickly. Well, actually, how long does it take to don gear?
Don like actual armor takes a while.
It's like a 10-minute
10
thing,
minutes or
depending on how heavy the armor is.
She might see that Audrin has her gear and like just use the orange to regain her spell slots, but she's gonna keep eating because that means she doesn't have to surge.
Who needs the orange of who needs the orb of Shabolba when we have the orange of Deltheria?
So here a couple questions here, right?
Yes.
Deli, I'm assuming that Deli is continuing to cast Greater Restoration on herself as she gains the ability to do so to get rid of her exhaustion levels. Yes.
Well, yes.
As long as she can, or she stop at some point.
She would go until she no longer has. When she gonna. That's the thing. She's gonna keep. She did the orange, so she doesn't have to use. So she's back and ready to go if something happens. But she's gonna keep casting Greater Restoration to try and get rid of her levels of exhaustion.
Sure. Yeah. So now my other question is, Audrin, how long do you let her eat? Is there a point where you just say, okay, Deli, that's enough, like you need to go? Or do you let her eat the entire vault? Because she will eat the entire vault if you let her.
Does she need the entire vault?
I don't know if you know that. Yeah. She was certainly really, really damaged. So maybe you're just assuming, I guess. She'll eat until she's full, I guess.
I will.
I'll let you make an insight or arcana check.
Yeah, I was thinking about doing the arcana check.
Go ahead.
Can I get advantage since since it's Delhi? I'm like,
No.
I usually no.
No.
No, I don't think you know enough about this
Can you guidance since it's like less than a minute?
I could guidance
Yeah,
myself.
that's fine. You can guidance.
I wish
Roll a
you'd roll
D-
better.
roll a D4.
Oh, okay.
All right, with a 23, I think you can understand that, like, I think it's up in the air. Like, you start getting a suspicion that maybe she doesn't need to eat all of this, and that, like, maybe she can't stop herself. Like, you're starting to get that suspicion of, like, maybe I should stop this or something. Like, you're starting to get worried. I don't think you know what will happen if she keeps eating, though.
Oh no, if she keeps eating, she's gonna turn into that disgusting monster thing.
Yes, it's why I've been holding my tongue this entire time. When I realized this a week ago, I'm like, Caleb, you're an evil genius.
There's a reason I put Delhi in the vault.
Yeah, I'm honestly, this could go very, very wrong, and it's part of the reason I was hoping that Audrey would wait, but it's too late now. Unfortunately, I have a teleport-like spell, but it's transport via plants. And I don't think there's... Actually, is there a tree in here?
I
Does it
mean,
have
the
to be a
tree
living
trunk,
plant?
if you can get outside of the vault, the
Yes.
tree trunk goes through all the ships.
Yes.
That's true.
But that's if we can get out. Where, or we're H4.
Since I'm like kind of sketched out
Yep.
about her potential eating more, I think I'll like start to stop her and like start to gather the rest of the treasure in my bag of holding.
Oh.
What does Delhi do?
She looks at him like, what would she do? What would she say? Because
You
what'd she
are
do in
still
the-
so hungry, Delhi.
she would probably growl at him.
You've never been more hungry in your entire life. You almost feel like you're more hungry than when you started eating.
I'm looking at everything I have. Sorry, give me a second.
No, you're
I
good.
think my spell points are
This
wrong.
is a momentous moment.
Audrey,
Redundant.
there's no escape for me. I remember. I thought things to say.
Crunch, crunch. I'm joking.
Don't die, Caleb.
How much exhaustion has she regained?
Assuming
I
all
would
of-
say a significant amount, if not all. Let me check the.
I would keep recasting it. I've already at least got down to 4 levels of exhaustion. Oops.
Let me check and see if there's a. If there's a level I want you to stop at that would be dramatically appropriate for right now. Let's say you have still 1 level of exhaustion, so you have disadvantage on ability checks.
Yeah, she would. If you try and stop her, she would just look at you, just with the exasperated look on her face, and say, "Audrey, there's no escape for me. He will find me again. You will never be safe with me around."
I kind of just want to smack some sense into her. Like literally just like slap and get a hold of yourself.
Yeah, that's the take we and Audrin talking right there.
Mm-hmm.
May I
We've
remind you? May I remind you that she's pretty much at full power, except for disadvantage on ability checks.
What's she gonna do? Kill me? Freaking do it! I don't care.
Audrin's so sick of this crap.
Yeah, I think. I think Audrin like grabs her by the shoulders and like shakes her a little bit and goes, Deli, we just spent several lives and several how long has it been since we've seen Deli? Weeks? Months?
Weeks.
Weeks. We've just spent the last several weeks and several bodies trying to find you, trying to get you out of here, and I don't care who is going to try to stop us. We're going to kill them if they try.
Bodies?
So many dead people, Deli. So many dead people.
Wait. Is he insinuating that, like, is that what happened to the others?
I'm the only one left.
Some of them.
I mean, that's what she thinks you're saying.
I think Audrin goes,
There's a whole new NPC that we gained and lost from when we last saw you.
it's like, I think he'd say, like, good men and bad men have died for us to get to this point to break you out.
I wasn't worth it.
Yeah, I don't care if you think you're worth it. You're coming with me.
How are you expecting to bring her anywhere?
Is there a role that Audrin can make here, Deli, or is Deli pretty set?
As if you guys remember, the last thing she said was to kill her. It would have to be some sort of persuasion.
You want to set the DC for us?
I don't know what it would be. I honestly don't.
Well, we can just determine it by the percent chance you want it to be, right? So let's see how high can Audrin roll on persuasion. He can do a 27.
He is pretty persuasive.
Maybe a 25.
Maybe. I'm just trying to think. Because, like, me as a player, I want her to go. It's just...
Of course, yeah. Yeah, trying to figure out what the accurate
what she would do. And he can talk her through it. If he, like, gets a convincing argument, well, he can go with it. It's just, like, right now she's like, I wasn't worth it.
I think one thing that Audrin does pipe up with is Madoc wanted to find you and get you out of here.
Madoc? He's just gonna find me again.
And we're going to take him down next time. We would have done it today, but we kind of had some plans that didn't go the right way. Some some illusions that got found out a little too soon. It's fine. We'll come back.
Wait, illusions? None of you can cast illusions?
We're just blaming everything on Vren.
Yeah, it's like, don't worry about it. I'll explain everything later.
Oh, dang, that Madoc.
Roll time?
It's just probably going to be really easy. I just want to kind of see how it comes across.
I also would like to say, who has the best charisma out of everybody? Or who has the best persuasion out of everybody?
I think Takewee has the best persuasion, if I remember correctly.
Is it Takewee?
Not
or is it Vren?
by it's... Oh, it might be Vren, actually. I have a +8, so...
Oh, Vren has a 10.
Okay, so what if Audrin said, through the sending stone, Takewee, put Vren on?
Wait, you have the sending stone? Did we establish that last time for sure?
Yeah, I have the sending stone. So,
real quick, remind me, what is sending as a spell? What's the school of spell it is?
Didn't we talk through them?
We talked about it last time that it would work.
It would work. It would work
because it's not divination. It wouldn't have worked to Delhi, like the sendings. That's why the sending spell didn't work to Delhi, but it could work in this room though.
Yeah. Because they already used sending.
Well, I mean, but you're just trying to get advantage on this rule, right? Is that what you're trying to do?
No, I'm trying to get the.
He wants Vren to make it for him.
Vren instead of.
Vren's not going to be able to make this roll.
I think it would be hilarious to watch Seth talk to himself and try to convince himself.
I don't know. I don't know what he has to say.
Let's go.
Okay, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to, that's
Alyssa,
a
you're
great
really
idea,
pushing the
Jordan.
vibe of making Seth talk to himself.
I think the idea that Jordan's going for is he's a follower of Madoc and can
Right, so it
nail
confirmed the
home that
story.
point. Exactly, yeah.
Right, okay, yeah.
So he says, "Put Ren on the phone."
Yeah,
And
exactly.
so I had this ending stone, and I'm like, Audrey wants to talk to you.
Why?
I don't. He's got Deli. Just answer the phone. Answer the stone. Come
Answer
on.
the stone.
Audrey, what do you want me to do? I don't remember Ren's accent.
Posh British.
Yeah.
Audrey, what do you want me to do? I do not know South area.
No, yeah. Well, Audrey's just gonna say, explain that Madoc made you make a contract to serve me to help rescue Deli.
Leave out the part about us maybe.
Yeah, that's why I said it like
that.
Leave out the part about potentially killing her if it gets bad enough.
Ren will take it like, look, Daltharia, is it? Madoc thinks you're dangerous, and he does not want your father with you. How do you say? He does not want your father to keep you. And look, what would you? I'm trying to think of what you even say. He sent me specifically to come make sure you were no longer in his hands. He wants you out of there.
I think what we should do is have you, Audrey, you have advantage now from Bren, but I do think it's you making the roll.
Okay.
DC, Seth? Up to you.
I think 20 would probably be
20 makes
good
sense, yeah.
enough.
Persuade.
24.
There you go.
I'm glad I mentioned the Madoc thing, because that wouldn't have been enough otherwise. Actually, I would have been, because I could have guidanced myself.
I think Deli would sit there and think like, okay, I'll go. But let me make one thing clear. I take out my father. No one else. I failed last time. I will not fail again.
Audrey goes, yeah, that's fair. And then he goes, on one other condition.
What?
I kill Xiao Fa.
Deal, I already
Every
did that.
iteration of Xiao Fa.
I think Deli would think about like, I already did it once. Fair. She was that close to eating him completely and killing him.
In the far distance, you hear Anna saying, on one condition.
I kill Luna.
I kill Luna.
And then Takemi's just muttering to herself while Ren's on the phone. Like,
On one condition, I kill Bren.
Pretty much, yep.
Here's the question. So I think at that point, Deli would. Does your stomach still like ache?
You are so hungry, Deli. Yeah.
We need to get out of here before I do something uncontrollable. Do you have your things? And can we like go quickly and like grab the things and like go through and grab treasure and whatnot?
I assumed that Jordan had already done that while you were eating.
Okay.
Yeah, whatever the additional treasure, I'm preventing her from eating.
Let's see. I have ways that we can get out of here pretty quickly. I have wind walk, which that turns us into gaseous form. Wait, this might actually be good. Let me put this in the chat. Let's see if you guys think this will work.
Nice.
If we do this, I'm calling this Plan Fart Cloud.
This is only for a minute, though. Oh, no, duration 8 hours.
It's 8 hours, and it's 300 feet of speed.
I'm not sure it will get you through the door. It's not.
No, but if Audrin isn't rushed, he can get them out.
Yeah. I'm just saying, like, it doesn't seem to imply that you can like squeeze through cracks or anything. So
okay. If a creature's in cloud form with a flying speed with that doesn't say you can go through cracks.
Yeah.
Wait, but why wouldn't they be able to gaseous form?
This is.
I think
5e
it's
define
sealed.
gaseous form.
Yeah. I think usually, like, the actual spell, like gaseous form, specifies you
Yeah.
can go through cracks and stuff, and I don't think that's what this is doing.
This is
I
not
know,
what I
but
thought it was.
Audra can just open up the door and then cast it and then go.
Sure, yeah.
Here's the other thought. I also just have transport via plants.
Yep.
But question
Yeah, but
is,
transplant ourselves.
The problem is that I worry that there's people outside this door right now.
well, my question is,
Why would you ever think something like that?
My question is, so we're Caleb, we're right here, technically underneath this area.
Oh, you're finding the
On
top
like
deck of
H1?
it. Yeah, that's the top deck of the ship ground.
Is there not also then part of the like tree right here in H2? It seems like it should be there.
Yeah, well that is where the tree trunk would be, because I think that's where we went down, is it not?
Yeah, I think if you can get here, you can go through transport via plants. That makes sense.
But again, you have to get out of the door, and there might be people behind the door.
I have scrying. I've actually wait, no. I have scrying, yeah, scrying.
But you can't do divination.
Oh yeah, I can't do divination through here. Yeah. We have a fully charged up deli right now. Give me a second. Let's see what we got. It's been a while since I've looked at these spells.
You've also probably gained a couple levels.
Does Audrin? I guess the question is, does Audrin go to the door and unlock it?
Yeah. What do? Are you hurt, Jordan?
Yeah.
Am I hurt?
I have healing word. I have healing word. Oh. I think I had a potion on me.
What's the thing that's taken away my hit point max?
Oh yeah.
I could greater resto you. I have a potion of supreme healing.
Do you have that on your character sheet somewhere? Did you write a note of that?
What?
Jordan?
Oh.
About the thing that...
Yeah, did you actually write a note about that somewhere?
I did not.
Okay. Because I don't remember specifically what it was or what its effect. Oh, here you go. Yeah, I see it. 92, 129. Yeah, I would assume that, like something like a long rest or I think it was a long rest that you needed, but greater resto should do it too.
I can greater resto him.
If you can greater resto me, I can down. I have 9 greater healing potions.
Okay. I think it would automatically increase your max, your total hit points if you did that too, right?
Yeah, I'll just cast greater restoration on him. No. So greater resto.
So now I can have my full.
Yeah, it go back to 129 as the max, but I don't think it actually gives you any hit points.
Given that this place is full of treasure, I'm assuming that like diamonds are no problem.
Yeah. You're fine.
Okay, so then greater healing potions I'll take.
Oh yeah, you got those too.
Oh man.
I have a potion of supreme healing too, but if you want to use the other ones, that's fine.
Yeah, I'll use the greater.
Supreme healing is better to save for like in a battle because you can get so much in one round.
How much is greater worth?
44 plus 4. Wow. That was so automatic. I had to think about it after I said it, and I was like, yeah, no, that's right.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Nice.
Let me see where that puts me. 7, 16, 13, 13. Okay. I'll do 2 more.
It's a lot of potions, my friend.
Yeah, I had 9.
Fair enough. All right. You go to the door then?
What is the
develops a
plan?
drinking problem.
What is the plan?
Or get to the
Wind
trunk?
walk, or we can transport via plants. The problem is Deli doesn't know where the ship is, so she's going to go to far shore if we transport via plants. So that's better than nothing.
Well, I
if we
mean,
go
you've been on the sea. Oh, I suppose you don't know where the sea wyvern is right now. Yeah.
And the sea wyvern has to be a plant. It can't be just wood.
Right.
Right, but going
you wanna post that
anywhere
for us?
honestly would be better.
Yeah, do you want to post that for us? Because I don't think you need to go to all the way to far shore. You could just be.
I'm just saying it has to be a plant she knows about. So far shore
must have
makes the
seen
most sense.
or touched the destination plant at least once before. Okay, yeah, that does.
Yeah, so that's why like a plant at far shore.
Because you were like teleported straight here, so you didn't walk through the jungle on your way to this base at all.
No, you got to go to like far shore or Calabar even.
Yeah.
If you're going anywhere.
Which one is closer to?
Well, the other, because that's what I'm saying. There's two options. We either have transport via plants or wind walk. The problem with wind walk is it's not necessarily an escape because they can still get us.
They can
They've
attack
established
forward
that
in
there are
gaseous
magic
form.
people here.
Yeah, I think you have
that's
resistance to damage and you can move really fast, but
Yeah.
resistance to damage from non-magical weapons. Okay, yeah.
But they have magical people here.
Yeah, they do.
So here's my thought. Even if we if we get out and then which one's closer? Is it Calabar closer or?
Sure.
At this point, the difference is negligible.
You know what? This might not matter. I have greater invisibility.
Oh,
I can cast greater invisibility on us.
Cool.
Fully charged up Deli is very useful.
Yeah, but also just keep in mind they might have Xiaofa
Crusade or
sitting
something.
there watching if they got any sort of alerts that you had broken out, like anything, people there ready with like true sight and things that they can see through that.
The other option.
I really don't think it's a bad idea for you to teleport to far shore or Calabar and then like the next day we just
But it's also just having to get to a plant to do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, there's a trunk.
There's a tree,
right, but the tree trunk right
outside.
there.
The other option is just blow a hole in the wall.
That's
I
gonna be
have
harder than you
8th
think,
level
but-
spell slots now.
Oh, because again, I don't think getting out of the vault is a problem. Seems like it's more like, is there's people
Yeah.
beyond the
Right,
door?
because if there's people right outside, it doesn't matter if the tree trunk's right there. Like you still have to get past the people.
Right.
Which level do I get? That.
Here's the thing.
Yeah.
I have a very specifically like selfish want here.
Mm-hmm.
I would like to turn invisible so that we can open the door, run out, and Deli gets ready to cast the spell to teleport us out. But I want to run up and stuff Surge's body into my, if I haven't done this already.
Oh, that's true. You want to get Surge's body.
I want to get Surge's body, and I want to go loot some of the guns off of the guys that we killed. Some of the pirates.
I feel like greater invisibility is probably the best plan then.
Transport via plants is a single action, and greater visibility only lasts for a minute.
I can work with that.
Yeah, I was gonna say even with a minute, I think that's actually not a bad. As long as there's like again, this depends on what's beyond the door, but at least from your guys' perspective right now, if that's what Audrey wants to accomplish, especially like getting Surge's body, then greater invisibility is probably your best bet.
Okay, the plan will then be go outside. I will wait by the trunk. So you like say you're ready,
Don't
and then
split
I'll
up. Don't.
Okay, fine, fair, yeah.
Do not immediately split up.
I wish I don't have a way to fly is the thing. I do have a way to fly.
You do have.
I can wild shape.
Yep.
I can't wild shape beast spells yet, but I can wild shape. Ooh, what do I have again?
I know you can turn into a bug.
But can you wild shape and then
can't you greater invisibility and then wild shape?
That's the plan, yeah.
Yeah, I would wild shape into something with a good stealth.
Let's see which has the best stealth. Because my thought was I could just turn into a spider and like get on Audrey's shoulder.
Yeah, you could probably do that too.
Wolf has +4. Spider has +4.
I think if you're riding on
Audrey,
Audrey,
helpful right now.
I think if you're riding on Audrin's shoulder, I think you're fine. Like, you won't have to make a stealth check at that point.
Best I have is a +4, and Spider has a +4, so we'll just do Spider.
Yeah, that makes sense to me. All right, you casting this before you open the door?
Yeah, I'm assuming so.
What are the order of operations here? Greater invisibility, then wild
greater
shape.
Invisibility, turn to Spider, and crawl on Audrin.
All right. Audrin, you got to unlock the door.
That uses my action, bonus action, and movement. So that's one action. That's one.
I assume you're trying to do it fast?
Yeah.
Or are you taking your time?
Well, yeah. I'll try to do it fast because I have to get this done quick enough to have the invisibility not wear off.
That's true. Go ahead and roll that pick lock.
Oh, I can
again.
also. Oh, I could have guidance him, but I used the spell. Guidance lasts for a minute.
It does. It's
Oh,
concentration though.
I can't do both then.
Yeah.
One or the other.
Audrin can do it though, can't he?
Yeah, he can do it on himself. Yeah.
You can do it on yourself. Yeah.
Lock picking.
Yep.
Intelligence. What was the DC again?
30. There you go. So you open the lock. You definitely hear the click. The door does not move. It is as firmly wedged as it seemed like when it was locked.
And we can't I can't mage hand push it open.
If you attempt to do so, it does not budge.
Can he mage hand open it from the outside?
If you try to do that, it also does not work.
Can I Arcana check to see if the one curse thing or whatever is on it
Sure,
again?
yeah, make an Arcana check on it. That makes sense. Yeah, with a 31, I think you understand a little bit more, and you get you feel a cold sweat break out on your skin as you realize what this room actually is. The cage was not the cage. The cage was the room. And in fact, you have been sealed in here. You hear Xiao Fa's voice on the other side of the door, and he says, "Nice to see you again, Audrin. Or rather, well, see is not quite the right term, but you know what I mean. I would have hoped to have gotten all of you in here, but I suppose this will have to do for now. And then, Deli, I need you to make a wisdom save."
Oh no. Oh no. At least I'm good at wisdom. I'm very good at wisdom.
You're not
great,
good
but
enough.
25 is not good
DC
enough?
30. So, Deli, they have been...
I literally had to roll a 19.
They have been keeping you in this room, preparing for something, for as long as you've been in here. And the wisdom save primarily here was for you to... you could not resist eating more. And so, while Audrin is standing at the door with this cold sweat on his skin as he realizes that this was a trap all along, Deli, you cannot you've been feeling this continue to rise up in you, this like urge to eat, and once you realize you're locked in here, you're like, gotta eat, and you immediately just start shoving treasure in your gullet. And Audrin, when you turn slightly, once you hear this, you turn slightly and you see Deli.
Wait, he doesn't. I'm invisible.
Yes, I suppose. I guess
Well,
you just...
and you're a spider.
You know what?
Wild shape.
Yeah, I think you on wild shape because you need to be like you want to eat, right? That's the whole purpose.
And I might break my concentration on greater invisibility.
I think you do. I think that's the easiest way to do this. Audrin, you turn and you see Deli. I would have given it to you on a 19 or a 20 if you had actually hit the DC. I would have given it to you, but this has been a trap for a long time in my head. You start eating. And Audrin, as you turn to watch this in horror, you see her mouth distend. Right, like she's shoving bigger, like there's a big chest, and it's one that you didn't really mess with because you thought it might be trapped or something, so you just kind of left it alone. She puts the entire chest down her throat, and it is a very, very disturbing. You probably just turn away because it's disturbing enough that you don't want to even watch it. And as Deli continues to eat, she continues to transform.
Before she can eat anymore, I use
yeah.
Iron Bands of Balatro on her.
Okay, yeah. Nice. All right, do it.
How long do those last?
I think it lasts indefinitely as long as you hit the thing. As long as they fail the save or whatever it is.
What kind of save is it? You still have disadvantage on saves.
I think we do get a shot for the audience's sake of outside the vault door, and we see Xiaofa, Alisan, a bunch of Lemurian captains. Like they're all waiting. They put something super heavy in front of the door. They're all waiting for this. Go ahead and make a ranged attack roll with an attack bonus equal to your dexterity modifier plus your proficiency bonus.
And guess what? I get to use my intelligence mod because of other stuff I've got going on.
Nice.
Could he also steady aim?
Sure. Yeah. No reason you couldn't, as long as you're standing by the door.
Yeah.
Pokeball, go!
Yeah, exactly. Deli, I choose you.
Please stop.
So what was it? It was.
You're just making an attack. I would just roll with whatever your ranged weapon is, as long as it's not a magic weapon that gives you a +1 bonus or whatever.
So just a normal ranged weapon?
Basically, yeah, a ranged weapon attack is basically what you're doing, because it's proficiency plus your dex, but if you can do intelligence, then. I think for you, it's +10, right? You have a 20 intelligence and a 5
Yeah, it would be a
bonus.
+10.
+10, yeah. If you have a weapon that's +10, then roll that. If not, just roll a d20. +10.
Any weapon that's +10?
Any weapon that's +10 is fine, yeah. It doesn't matter.
Okay.
Ooh.
Good thing I had advantage.
Good thing you had advantage, yeah. I assume that hits then, Deli, right?
My AC? Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah.
My AC is 18, so yes.
Okay. On a hit, the target is restrained until you take a bonus action to speak the command word again to release it. A creature, including the one restrained, can use an action to make a DC 20 strength check to break the iron bands. So what happens here, Audryn? You do it, right? You successfully throw it, and it clamps around her. But she starts to... And, like, the bands are trying to, like, still restrain her, and they're adapting to her new form, but she is transforming into something else, and I don't think it, like, keeps her from doing that. It's just that the bands are still restraining her, but they're doing it now on a much larger creature and expanding out to keep her restrained. She turns into this.
One of these things again.
Mm-hmm. Don't worry, we haven't even gotten to the best part yet.
Oh, boy.
So that's kind of what she looks like.
Where Takeway is going to kill Vren now?
So she basically, yeah, like her jaw is distended. She has jagged teeth. She like her scales all fall off, and they don't like absorb or anything. They literally fall off her body in like a wave, and they all like scatter on the floor. And then her skin is now kind of like fishy and clammy. Kind of like maybe like a squid or something, right? Like that kind of texture. She has long, gangly arms, and it looks like her rib cage. And you can't see some of this because it's blocked. You know, the bands are blocking it, but you do see some of this happen through the bands. Even her rib cage distends outward and pokes through her chest, and then breaks open, like here, and like they stick like spikes kind of through the iron bands at points. And there's a one point where the iron bands are trying to close around her center of mass, like her stomach, where her stomach is, and they kind of get warped inward as this black void starts to suck them inward. Again, it's holding for now, but you can tell like, oh, this is not a permanent solution. Like, I gotta get her out of here or do something to her really fast. Yeah, she looks like that. And then, Deli, you feel from everywhere around you, like the whole room, like it feels like it burns. And it's, I don't know, like Deli doesn't know anything about like science necessarily, but like a modern individual would describe this feeling as all of your atoms being separated from each other, right? Like the bits and pieces that make up you suddenly get like separated outward, and you feel like every pore of you is being like opened up so that something can dig inside. And we see a weird spectral hand, kind of like a mage hand looking thing, but you recognize it, Audrin, as Xiao Fa's kind of gnarled elf hand, right? But it's like some sort of spectral version of it. And it suddenly manifests in the room and sticks right into Deli's chest. And Audrin, you get a sense, you're looking at all this, you're like, what the heck is happening? Would you like to make an Arcana check to make sense of it?
Yeah.
24 is good enough to get a vibe, at least, of what's happening here. You
Can
think
I
that...
myself with that?
Sure. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, no, but...
Nice. All right, with a 28, I think you get a better idea. The general gist of it is they are trying to get something from Deli, and they needed her to like this whole thing was a trap, right? Her eating the treasure was exactly what they wanted to do. Really, honestly, if you thought about it for half a second, putting her in this room in the first place would be an incredibly stupid thing to do, unless it's what they wanted to happen, right? Because they knew that this would happen, like that Deli could do this, that she could eat the treasure and regain all of her stuff. You're not quite sure on like why they didn't do it earlier. Maybe they hadn't set it up right yet, or something like that, or maybe they just wanted to trap as many of you in here as well, so that you would die, whatever this is about to happen. You're not sure. But what you know right now is you're going to have to figure out something to do to stop what Xiao Fa is doing to her. Because, again, you don't know what he's doing, but he's trying to take something from her, and you're not sure what will happen if he gets it. Deli, from your perspective, you can feel this hand shove into your gut, and it's almost as if like it shoves into the black void, right? And you know, we haven't really talked about like what the black void actually is, and if it's like a real dimension that goes somewhere else or whatever. But in this moment, it certainly feels like it is, because you can feel him rifling around in your innards, this black void of your innards, and looking for what you assume is probably the original Shadow Pearl you ate.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. What do you do, Audrin?
I think I know.
Okay.
Throw a pit.
I hate you, Seth.
Just throw a pit at the door.
No, that wouldn't work. It has to be a horizontal surface. If you had a window, I would rage quit right now. You throw a window on the door to shoot Xiao Fa in the face. He breaks his concentration and all fails. So do you know what you're going to do, or do you not know what you're going to do?
I do know what I'm going to do.
Okay.
I'm just trying to figure out how I'm phrasing this.
Yeah.
I think Audrin says, Xiao Fa, you should know better than to give me unfettered, unstoppable access to my own science experiments.
I have no idea what you're talking about, boy.
And Audrin is going to, the same way that he used his life essence to make Surge before, he's going to try to use his life essence to save Deli here.
All right, couple questions here. You don't have it anymore, right? You don't have that potential that you got. So if you're doing this, you're killing yourself.
Yes.
Okay. So basically, you're going to try to reach into your soul and pull out what would have been this extra potential that you were given, and instead you're just going to rip your soul out.
Can I just lose levels for it?
Depends. So is that what you're doing? Is that what you're trying to do? You're basically doing the same thing you would have done if you still had the potential, but instead you're like, I think you do feel the same muscle there, right? Like you are awakened to this possibility within you, and you don't have this extra power on top of it anymore. But I do think it makes sense that Audrin could reach deeper now that he knows this is a possibility and just rip his own soul out. Yeah, I think there's maybe a possible way to do this without killing yourself, but I'm not sure. Like, I think it would depend on some rolls and things. You tell me what your actual intent is. Like, how are you saving Deli?
My intent is I'm kind of treating this as like there's a part of Deli that's broken, that's like not working right. Mm-hmm. Like there's like it's almost as if there's a part of Deli that she's like of her own that she's missing. So I am going in for the repair and using my own soul as the patchwork. Mm-hmm. And sealing up any access that Xiaofa or anyone else has.
I think the first thing we need to do is you need to jump into Deli's void. And the thing you need to physically jump in.
That's Anna's job.
Jump in the pit, Audryn.
Yeah.
Get in there.
I think
hey guys, you could just feed Deli treasure. That sounds like a great idea. I hate you, little Caleb.
So, hey, look.
I knew it was a bad idea to begin with. I just was holding my tongue.
Look. If we just die, then we just move on to the next campaign. And then we make characters that Caleb hates so much he regrets leaving us and he regrets ending Terra Invicta.
I mean, to be fair, I don't know how this will end with everyone dying.
We'll get there.
Okay, all right. Audryn's got a plan to kill everyone.
I got a party wide plan.
Okay, all right.
Love it involves turning Deli into an eldritch horror.
A nuclear bomb.
Wait, well, like a.
She's already an eldritch horror.
No, like a Kaizu size eldritch horror.
Right.
Like something that would make a beholder cry and run in fear.
That'd be a lot of crying too, because they have like 7,000 eyes.
Exactly.
So yeah, do we just see Audryn do like a swan dive into the void?
I think he says to himself, I'm gonna have to take a page out of Anna's book here.
Yep. Cool. I think we see you jump, and the hand kind of jerks slightly as it's almost as if it tries to like catch you and stop you. But I think we just see you slide along it, and you're not entirely sure like why it's physical, but maybe it's like the moment you went into the weird dimensional space, it became physical to you. But like you kind of slide along its giant slender finger, and then tumble into this dark void. Seth, I don't know. Do you want to tell us what the inside of Deli's void stomach looks like?
It's just like a dragon's horde.
Yeah, like I'm curious. Like, what do you think?
This is not a question I was expecting to answer today.
You really should have expected it.
It's probably like a black void, but then like it has like shimmers of like clouds and electricity around it to kind of showcase, in a sense, like show off the chaos that's inside her.
Right. Kind of swirling vortexes. Yeah. Okay.
So something like that?
Yeah, sure. And I think you see the giant hand like trying to reach, and it's like clawing at some of what you think was just emptiness, but it looks like he's actually like the hand is scraping at something physical, kind of ripping. It's like a gash, like making a gaping wound. Like with his long fingernail just like scraping. Yeah, you're tumbling, falling. What do you do?
Well, I mean, I'm flying.
I suppose, yeah, you get a control of yourself once you get your boots activated, yeah.
Yeah, I guess I kind of try to find the center.
Okay, yeah, make an investigation check for us, Audryn.
2, 4, 6 state. Deli belly investigate.
33.
Oh, nice.
I mean, there's not really a reason you couldn't guidance yourself here, so why don't we just throw that on too?
Okay. 34.
No, I was really hoping you could hit 35, but
35.
Yeah, so you're trying to find the center. I think it's okay, so I think you get a instinctual guess at this. Xiaofa is attempting to find the center himself. Like that's what he's actually doing with the scraping thing. But you're like, he's not quite right. Like there's something about this swirling vortex over here that seems like where like as you kind of look at the patterns of the vortex, it looks mostly chaotic. But you start to notice with your 34 investigation, you start to notice a pattern that they're slowly swirling around one point in particular, and it's just off center from where Xiaofa is digging. You want to dive towards it?
Yeah, not a question.
All right, you dive towards it, and I don't know what. I think it's just a point, right? It's not anything in particular that you can distinguish about it. It is a point in space, but not really a physical object of any sort. But you do feel like you're in the right place. What do you do? Xiaofa was like digging at it, like with magic somehow, but I'm not sure. Up to you how you want to go about doing whatever you want to do.
Caleb, I'm looking for a shadow pearl, correct?
Yes, in theory, like if you're able to find the center of this, it should be shadow pearl. Though I don't know. Does Audra know that actually? That's what I'm wondering. How much did Deli tell you of her like backstory and stuff?
I don't know if she remembered much of it. She assumed she had a shadow pearl.
Oh, did Madoc or Vren know more?
I don't think so. I don't remember.
Because, like, I think he's after something. I don't know if you actually know it's a shadow pearl.
Okay, but out of character, we know that it's a shadow pearl.
Yeah.
Yes.
And the reason, shadow pearls are fine when they're all intact, but it's when they break.
That's when they break. Yeah.
In whatever dimension we're in right now, is a foot still a foot, or is a foot like microscopic?
Why was that information be relevant?
I'm wondering if I can use mending to put the shadow pearl back together.
So the shadow pearl's not broken yet.
Okay.
I think you can tell that, like the space that you're looking at is whole. It's not like a crack in space time or anything.
Okay.
I think he's trying to extract it because it's like the shadow pearl.
It's still whole in here somewhere. So Chef Austin trying to get it. For us as the audience, if we've watched Deli's special episode, we would understand that basically Deli ate the original master pearl thing that Demogorgon gave Alisan, and it is the key to controlling all of them and setting them off. So Xiaofa needs to get out so that can set them off. Yeah, I think Audrin just understands that like there's something here that Xiaofa wants. I need to get it first. You'll probably understand all of that stuff pretty quickly after you like find it, but I don't think you know yet.
So I'm in the area that I'm supposed to find this thing.
Yeah, you just got to figure out how to get to it. You're not sure what it is or how to get it to it, but I'm open to hearing any crazy idea you have.
I pull out my wand and go, Accio thing that I need to find.
No, that's not work. Oh, sorry. Very nice try, Jordan. But let's think in a different direction. Like a spell that's actually in Dungeons and Dragons.
What? Okay. What spell do you? Okay.
I guess locate objects is in Dungeons and Dragons.
Yes, it is. Caleb, as far as spells go, let me list.
You're
the
really
spells.
low, I know. Yeah.
No, you don't understand. Not really low. I have one first level spell slot and cantrips.
Dude, you could cast Identify.
Do you think Identify would work?
Yeah.
How much time do I have?
Oh, yeah. How long does it Oh, yeah. Ooh, a minute. It's really pushing it. I think you can make an Arcana check to try to do it faster.
So not 10 minutes. I have 1 minute. You have best.
1 minute at absolute best, yes.
You said I can do Arcana check to try to cast it a little faster?
Yeah.
Hyper-identify. And I'll guidance myself.
Yeah, too bad you didn't get that 33. Oh, no. Yeah, I mean, maybe 7 rounds? I think what we're going to have to do now is, this is probably, in terms of like the actual spells you have, Audrin, this is probably your best bet, right? You're really low on spells here. What you think this will do is this will reveal it to you. You'll then have to do something with it to prevent Xiaofa, right, from doing whatever it needs to do. I
Caleb,
think
I know what I'm going to
yes.
do to buy myself a little bit of time.
Okay, yeah.
I'm going to use a little cantrip, a cheeky little cantrip called Minor Illusion to create another orbs in another location.
Okay.
Distract him.
Can you do that while Identify is being cast?
Casting time is 1 action, and it lasts for a minute.
Okay, so you do that first, and then...
Wait. Casting time is 1 action, then that's 6 seconds. I'm confused.
No. He's talking about Minor Illusion.
Oh, sorry. Never mind. My fault.
Is it concentration, though?
No.
Okay. Yeah, I think that's a good plan. Yeah, okay. So I think this is what we're going to have to do. We're going to have to make some rolls here. Xiaofa is rolling to find it. You're rolling to distract him / do the spell faster. Deli is trying to resist what is happening to her. I'm trying to think of what we want to do in terms of the actual rolls. I'm thinking... Let me look at Xiaofa's character sheet real quick. Because I think we need to play this out turn by turn to see if you can hold them off for that long. There we go. Xiaofa. Nope. There we go. Xiaofa has... Yeah, I think this is going to be an Arcana check for Xiaofa. Right, he's doing this with magic, not with like actual sight or anything. Yeah. Audrin, you can also do Arcana if you'd like to oppose him. Or if you have a better idea, feel free to suggest it.
What is my opposing him? Is my opposing him using the Minor Illusion?
Yeah, kind of a combination of Minor Illusion and... This is just like, how well can you distract him / do your thing faster to get it done?
I
Sleight
know
of hand.
what I could do. Because I'm going to use my mage hand as if I'm going for it.
Yeah. I love that. I love that a lot. And then I think here's the question. I'm trying to think of what Deli is dealing with during this time. I suppose, like, I could have her make like a strength check to get out of the iron bands, but I'm not sure. I'm not sure what would happen if she did break free, and I don't think it matters.
Deli just starts to floss.
Does Deli try to like break down like the door to get out and like eat more things?
Ooh, I really like that idea.
Yeah.
And then it distracts Xiaofa because it's like,
right. It might. Yeah. Let's play that out and see.
Because he got killed by this thing before. He almost got eaten completely.
All right, so let's start with this. Here, you know what? Let's roll initiative. That's what we'll do. Go ahead and roll initiative, and then Seth. I'll give you control of the Devourer again.
Oh shoot! I forgot to click on myself. My bad.
That's all right. Don't you have advantage on?
Yeah, I rolled it twice. I got the 23.
Okay. So there you go. You should have it at the top of the character journal there, Seth, the Devourer, if you want to roll from there.
Oh, yeah, there we go.
Then Audrin, we'll add you in here.
I rolled poorly.
No, you did it, Jordan.
Okay.
And then let me grab Elisan and Xiaofa. They're the ones who mainly matter here.
Alisan's just angry because he's really got a girl's name as a first name.
All right, I rolled it to the GM layer. I don't know why.
Actually, he's got 2 girls' names as his first name. Alice Ann. It's like a boy named Sue times 2.
All right, Audrin, you go first. Go ahead and make that Arcana check. Or sorry, sleight of hand check. To do your thing.
Slide.
Wow, only 22. That was pretty bad.
Yeah, I rolled a 5.
All right, 22. Now it's Xiaofa. He has an Arcana of 13. Wow, he rolled even worse. Okay, all right. Let's decide how. I guess you need to keep him distracted for the 7 rounds you need to cast the spell.
Yeah.
How many rounds does he need of successful Arcana before he wins? 3? I feel like 3 makes sense, right? 3 strikes you're out, sort of thing. If he gets 3 successful rolls against you, he'll win. That makes sense to everybody.
3 successful rolls.
As in, you lose on the sleight of hand.
I see.
The verses there. Or maybe we'll do 4, because I guess you would have to get 7 in a row, right, to win. Or at least 7. Let's do 4.
Right, like 4 out of 7 kind of a
4
thing,
out of 7,
majority.
yeah, exactly. Let's see. Because it won't take him 7 rounds to actually find it, as long as he's not being hindered. But it will take him longer than 1.
Wait,
all right, cool.
So I have 7 rounds normally without doing anything and just going for it.
No, so basically what it is you need 7 rounds to cast the identify spell, because you rolled that Arcana check and I gave you slightly lower than the 10 rounds that would be necessary.
Mm-hmm.
Every round you're going to roll to distract him. If he gets 4 rounds of success against your sleight of hand before you are able to get those 7 rounds passed, then he will find the pearl.
And so I'm distracting him because I created a minor illusion of the pearl in a different location.
Yes. But if you don't successfully distract him, he'll start looking in the actual places that it's supposed to be.
And then
right?
he's just faster than me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. He set up this special ritual to do this exact thing. So. All right. Devourer. Seth, make a strength check.
My turn already?
Yes. And there's only like 4 people in the encounter.
Oh, well, didn't Audrey just? Oh, no, because he went. Okay, never mind. Chef
Yep.
just went. Strength check. I'm actually good at these.
There you go. 20 is what you needed. You break free of the bonds, the iron bands of Bolaro. That's your action for the round, but you can move to the door. I assume that's
I'm
what
gonna
you
move
do.
to the door.
Sounds good. Yeah. So.
Can I item interaction bang on the door?
Sure. Yeah. And Alisan and Shaffa look at each other. Right.
Mm-hmm.
Alisan steps up to the door, ready to fight you if he needs to.
We know how this went last time, old man. I almost did it. I was so close.
Let's see if he has any prep spells that he needs to.
Can I shoot a firebolt out from Deli's stomach from here?
I don't think so. I think it's another plane
That'd
of
be
existence.
so funny.
Yeah.
That would be
He's just
fun.
like, I'm about to finally win again, and then boom, just gets blasted.
Let's see here. Yeah, I guess he just has that. Oh yeah, he has spells. He is gonna go ahead and cast. How long does this last? Yeah, sure. Why not? We'll cast Wall of Fire. Right in front of the door. Let me grab this. But yeah, go ahead and Audrin and roll your next sleight of hand check. $27, nice. Okay, Xiaofa is going to attempt to not be bothered by that. We'll see. This is round 2. Okay, he fails. Wow, nice. Okay, so you got 2 out of 7 under your belt. Deli, trying to bang on this door.
Attack on the door. And ooh, I can make 2 a claw attack.
Do you want to attempt to just break the door in 1 hit?
I'm assuming that's what I was doing.
Yeah. I mean, it's either that or like attack it 1 by 1.
Well, what would be the difference? I guess my question.
So you're making either an athletics check to try to just break it, or attacks against its like hit points and armor class and stuff. Let's see.
I don't have any extra athletics thingies. Yeah, I could do that though. I could try that.
Yeah, it's probably the first thing you try. I think it makes sense.
So I'll try an athletics check, banging on the door, see what happens.
Yeah, go ahead.
21.
Yeah, 21 is not good enough. You can feel that if it's a very strong door, right? Reverberates against you. All right, cool. Alisane is just going to keep that concentration up and keep the wall of fire up and wait there. Audrin, go ahead and make another sleight of hand. All right, 26. 23, man. How much do you have on this again? Plus 17.
Plus 17.
Oh, so gross. All right, you got 3 out of 7
That's not
under your belt.
nearly as gross as my lockpicking. My lockpicking is literally plus 20.
Amazing. All right, cool. 3 out of 7 under your belt. All right, Deli, you just gonna attack?
It's like Audrey just has to look at a lock and it unlocks.
Yeah, exactly.
I will just try and attack the door this time.
Go ahead.
I will do 2 claw attacks.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm assuming I'll do the second one.
That second one hits, yep.
Like this. I'm assuming the necrotic damage doesn't come through, but I don't know.
Not really any reason. Well,
I don't know. It's up to you.
Is it a wood door? Is the necrotic making the
it's
wood
not.
die?
It's a metal door.
I'm assuming there's magic on the door, no?
There is, but I'm not sure. Yeah, it doesn't by default, necrotic damage doesn't affect non-living objects or creatures. Like it's specifically trying to. Yeah, I'll say no. So that 9
Eat
slashing...
the door. Eat the door. Eat the door.
I mean, honestly, you're not wrong. But I already used my action, so.
Yeah, okay, so I think you can tell, Deli, that your claw attacks might not, because it's mostly in the necrotic stuff, and materials have a certain threshold of damage you have to hit before you can actually do anything to it. It doesn't seem like that claw attack was very effective. It didn't seem like it did anything, so you might have to take a different approach depending on what you want to do. But yeah, so Alisane's waiting. Audrin? Whew! Well, I won't even bother rolling. He's not gonna get that.
And that means that I win. He said he had to get 4.
He can't do it in time, yeah. So Devour, are you gonna try anything else, or do we see Deli clawing at it ineffectually?
Could I try and eat the door?
Deli's just like
yeah, I think so.
Like, could I try and like Deli's chest opens up and like grabs the door and like tries to eat at it?
Yeah. Let's have you make another strength check. Yeah, so I think you're trying, but it's not really working. I mean, they set this up intentionally to keep you in here, even in this form. So I think you're trying, you're doing everything you can, but it's not working very well.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, cool. So Audrin, I think we kind of play out the rest of that, right? Like, I think Deli scrabbling at the door ineffectually. Audrin is continuing to, and he's getting frustrated too, right? Like the Xiaofa is getting really frustrated not being able to find this. And then your identify spell goes off, right? And you see, a small kind of proto-looking shadow pearl that kind of appears almost like it was hidden underneath a tablecloth. The tablecloth being the void of night. But you look under it and you see it. What do you do? You muted.
I take it and I exit the scene.
You take it and leave? Yeah. All right. So we see you
I put it in my bag of holding.
Well, so so I think this is what happens. You grab it and you can't move it. It's like anchored to this dimension. So you will have to do something to, like, just finding it isn't enough.
I put it around the bag. Just give out holding. Yeah.
I think that might do the, like, dimensional thing where you do the portable hole and whatever together.
Turn it inside out.
No, the one where, like, if you put a portable hole in a bag of holding,
It creates like a black hole, like a rift in space.
Let me check what that
thing.
does again.
I think it's like a 10-foot blast radius or something like that.
Because we talked about this with when Deli was like, what if I eat this?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
What if I eat a bag of holding? And we were like, that's probably not a good idea.
Maybe it's a portable hole. Let's see here. It says... Here you go. Placing a portable hole inside an extra-dimensional space created by a bag of holding or a haversack or whatever instantly destroys both items and opens a gate to the astral plane. The gate originates where the one item was placed inside the other. Any creature within 10 feet of the gate is sucked through it and deposited in a random location on the astral plane. The gate then closes. The gate is one way only and can't be reopened.
Sounds
I don't know.
like a
What do you
good
think,
plan to
Seth?
me.
Doesn't Audrun have ways to get out of the astral plane?
Probably.
Don't you have an item?
Does
Or
Deli
something?
get sucked into
What am I,
your own
Darius?
stomach
Well, so this is what I'm
astral
thinking. This is like anchored to Deli's soul. I like it. Obviously, it's bad if he does this. I don't think it would destroy the Shadow Pearl.
I will say this: if he does it and it brings Deli with, Deli can get out because
Yeah.
Deli can cast plane shift in the morning.
Let's do this. Seth, would you roll a d6 for me?
I feel like if Audrun thought it was going to blow up the world or
Ooh,
something, he'd
six.
probably
Oh,
roll
nice.
Arcana first.
Would you roll 60-100 for me? So you place the bag over the bag of holding and 6 surges, 6 wild
Oh,
magic surges
no.
happen.
So we're just doing it.
No, I don't think it destroys the item, but you do something bad happens.
Okay, let's see what happens.
All right.
10?
First, we got a 10. On a 10, for the next hour, any attempt to speak becomes impossible to understand animal growls of various species. Spells
That's
involving
already
verbal
happening.
components automatically fail. Yeah, this is to Deli, right? So, Deli is already a beast, right? And then we got a 15. Roll a d20. Your age changes by that number. You know what? I feel like this has to all happen to Jordan. I think this has to happen to Audrun. He's the one activating it, right? And he's inside of your void. I think these happen to Audrun. Does that make sense to everybody? Like, I don't think it makes sense
he
for
was gonna give up something.
dose.
I've already lost a lot of the stuff that I've like. Let's just do it. Let's just let it kill Audrun. I don't care anymore. Audrun's already lost at this point.
So Audrun, you feel this like it rocks you, right? You doing this, like, you feel a shudder in your soul, and the vortex of chaos inside Deli swirls around you. You suddenly can't speak, right? You're just like muttering to yourself, like you become dumb, basically. And then roll a d20.
Well, what was the thing for age? How many was that?
D20.
Oh.
Oh my god.
Odd, you become older. Audrey.
Really? I didn't see that one coming.
So you start.
Okay, but good thing you didn't become 18 years younger. That would have been a real disaster.
And again, these are wild magic effects that can be reversed by, like, restorations and things.
I mean, clearly Deli got it all sucked out of her.
Yeah. So, Audrun, we see Audrun start to age before our eyes, right? She's getting more and more wrinkles. How old are you now if you get 19 years older?
Like 40.
Nice. All right. Sweet. And we got a 45. 40. This one doesn't. Oh. Yeah, actually, I think it's okay. You teleport 120 feet to a point you can see, leaving behind a perfect statue of yourself made of wood.
Oh,
and then
this
you
one.
cast greater restoration on yourself.
So I'm young again.
Yeah, so I think you're fine. You're young again, right?
But there's
And
a
we'll say-
40-year-old Audrin wood statue of it.
There is, yeah. It just flies off into the void somewhere.
I like to think that like one day Takeo will see that and be like, "Oh yes, there's my man."
Yep.
Well,
Okay,
this is
so
inside
then
Delhi, so
yeah. 50. A loud boom of thunder centers on you, and every creature within 30 feet must make a Constitution saving throw or be deafened for 1 minute. Go ahead and roll a con save.
Me?
Yep.
Shouldn't Delhi? Delhi's right here.
No, she's not here. This is inside of her. Yeah, I think you fail that.
But
So you're
But did the deafen happen first or the Greater Restoration happen first?
I think we're going in order here. I
Okay.
think he can speak and he's not old, but he is deaf now.
Let's see what the next one is.
Yep, and then the next one is 96. You cast Sunbeam, so suddenly like Sunbeam goes shooting out from you. And then last, we got a tornado forms under you, lifting yourself 60 feet in the air and lifting any objects lighter than 50 pounds in the tornado as well.
Oh, so it just shoots him out.
Yeah, so I mean, I think mostly the answer here is just this is chaos, right? None of it is really permanently damaging or whatever. You are deaf for a little while, but like it's mostly just like you know that didn't work, right? Like it just caused a bunch of wild magic surges. You barely held onto the bag as you flew off, right? But you know that you have to try something else. What do you do?
I don't know. Die. I'm literally out of options, Caleb. What do you want me to do? Stab it with poison? I can break it. I could smash it to little bits and pieces.
Jordan, didn't we talk about this already? Weren't you going to reach into your soul?
Is that an option now?
Yeah.
Sure. I'll reach into my soul and let it destroy me, however that means.
So your goal here is what? To like cleanse Delhi? To remove this from Delhi? What are you thinking of doing here?
Whatever comes first. Cleanse Delhi, remove it from Delhi, or destroy it in a way that saves Delhi.
Mm-hmm. What do you think is the most interesting answer for you, Seth?
Sorry. Oh, I didn't know this question was going to come to me. What was the question again?
So in terms of, I asked Audrey, like, what he wants to accomplish by doing this, like aiming this at the Shadow Pearl. And he was like, either cleanse it, destroy it and save Delhi, or what was the other one? Or remove it from Delhi somehow.
I think destroying it. The problem with destroying it is destroying it releases its power. But
yeah,
but if it releases its power while it's in Delhi, does it actually activate all the others?
I think removing it's probably the best way to make sure we don't cause the end of the world.
Yeah, just removing it from Delhi.
Yeah.
Okay, so Audrin, you reach into your soul, and again, as we described earlier, you feel like you understand that a muscle is here that you can flex that before you had gotten that potential, you didn't realize was there. But now there isn't this like topped off potential juice above it. And so you have to reach even further down and you feel your very own life essence, your very own soul. Are you going to reach into it and dig it out to save Delhi?
As much as it takes.
All right.
Let that well run dry.
So here's the question. What is this roll? Or is it a roll? Or... because we're pretty far into abstract land now.
Here's an idea.
Yeah.
I currently have 103 hit points.
Uh-huh.
We could do 1d100 plus 3. I don't know what that would do. Or we could do what's the we're level 16. We could do 2d8 and see how many levels I lose.
I don't want you to lose level. That seems
like,
far less interesting.
Losing my life here already.
Oh, right.
Like,
I mean, losing your life is going to be more interesting than losing levels. So I'm trying to think of in terms of like narrative stuff, right? Like we had this whole big thing with Audrin where I remember you talking about this at some point, like saving Delhi, trying to save Delhi. Well, I guess the main thing was the thing we would talked about is like something, and actually it was something else I'm thinking of. Trying to think of what I like this. I like that like you're attempting this and it could jeopardize your life. That you're like digging into your soul. I want it to feel dangerous and maybe even have the possibility of death, but I don't think it's a fun answer to just say, okay, you can kill yourself and do it. I think it should be a risk. I'm trying to think of what makes sense. I do like the idea of like rolling a ridiculous amount of damage against you or something.
Caleb, I thought of an idea.
Yeah, please.
What if he takes on the wild magic? What if he rips the wild magic out of Delhi and puts it in himself?
I suppose it depends on whether or not Jordan finds that interesting.
I think that's fun. Wild magic tinkering.
I do kind of like that.
Oh my god, and that's how you're gonna do it. That's how you're gonna make
How are you gonna make what?
all the like people like
the
Surge.
Yeah.
The Warforged.
Mm-hmm. The thing I'm wondering is, okay, so what this actually is.
It's a
right?
wild magic surge!
That's actually kind of fun. The thing I'm wondering here, right, is Jordan, like, this artifact is evil. It's like an abyssal artifact, right? This is bad for Delhi. And so if you do put it in yourself, you're going to want to redeem it somehow or like cleanse it somehow, right? That would be best case scenario, right? Is like you can cleanse it and then maybe you do get weird wild magic stuff happening, but it's not evil anymore. It's not abyssal anymore. I do think that's really cool, and especially it's like this really cool hero thing from Audrey. It's like taking on Delhi's burden on himself and leaving her to like be able to live a normal life. It's a very Jordan character thing to do, and I really like it. I'm just trying to think of the best way to, because we could always hand wave and just say it happens, but we let the dice decide how things go in this game. What is do you have like one spell remaining, right? No, you just have cantrips.
No, I just have cantrips because the last spell was identify.
Yeah.
How big is the Shadow Pearl?
I think it's about normal Shadow Pearl size.
But how big was that? I can't remember.
I don't know, like the size of a fist, maybe.
Oh, well, there goes eating it.
Yeah, I mean, Audrey won't be able to eat this.
No.
Hey, don't underestimate.
What other features do you have? I'm just wondering about like the fun magic-y fiddly bits that Audrey still has remaining. That
I have 3 tinkers and 2 infused items that I have not used anything with.
Oh, dude, infused item. That's cool. That's the answer. We use artificer stuff, right? Okay, so this is the order of operations we need to do. First, you got to cleanse it,
okay.
Right? You got to eject the evil out of this thing. And then once you do that, you can infuse it with something else.
Infuse it with my own life essence?
Exactly. Yeah. And I think the idea here is that you'll only be able to cleanse it temporarily. And so you have to, like, maybe Aldrin doesn't even realize he has to do this until it happens. But like, you're doing whatever you need to do to push out the evil of it. And then you realize, oh, this isn't going to work as a permanent solution. I have to push something good inside of it to fill that vacuum. And that's when you have to like push your life force into it, right? So let's have you make, I mean, Arcana is the easy answer here.
Am I becoming a lich?
Maybe a little bit.
Is this my phylactery?
I think there's maybe a little bit of that here.
Take me. You don't have to kill Vren. Audrin's never going to die now.
My husband, the Lich King.
Mm-hmm. All right, so you got a really good Arcana. Let's see. I don't know, what feels right to you, Jordan? What are we rolling here to cleanse it?
To cleanse it?
Yeah.
So what is it infected with?
Abyssal magic, demon magic. Chaos, pure chaos.
Then I'll
really,
cure it with religion.
That was one thing I was thinking of. The thing I think is
that, but I didn't want to say it because I don't think your religion is as good as your
exactly as good as his Arcana.
Oh,
Yeah,
it's the
my
same.
religion's 15 plus 15.
So the thing I'm thinking
pretty
here,
religious as it turns out.
really, let's take a step back here for a second. I really love what's happening here right now, but I think thematically what's happening is Seth's character Deli has been the pure incarnation of chaos, and honestly, Audrin has been pure incarnation of order. He has been make it all work, right? Fix things, make sure that they're working properly, like. And obviously it's taking apart, but like putting it back together, right?
You know what probably makes this all work too is Audrin's alignment is chaotic good.
I think it's the problem. It might change after this.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I do like the idea that like this is a combination. There's like I think this is maybe a religion check, and maybe it's like you getting in touch with could be with Mikhail, or any other. I don't know. What do you envision that religion check being?
I think getting in touch with Mikhail makes the most sense.
Yeah, you're the one.
If it's cleansing, it would be Araya.
That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it could be the Pantheon in general, right? You reach out in that moment in desperation. I do think that normally this is not going to work because you're in this like anti-divination space or whatever. Let's make the religion check and see if you can make it work.
Okay.
I think this religion check is primarily like getting in touch with the gods, like you've attempted to do in the past. Would you like to make an attempt to get advantage here at all?
Yes, I would. Absolutely would.
I just love when you ask Jordan that, because I'm like, you asked me that, and I'm like, absolutely not. The dice tell their story.
Yep.
Let me fail spectacularly.
That's what I appreciate about you, Em.
Fail forward, fail backward. Let's just go.
Let's just do it. Let's move in a direction.
Let's just fail, whichever
Let's jump
way.
into a pit.
So, I think religion has been, by and large, a tricky topic for Audrin.
Yeah.
His whole life.
Mm-hmm.
Just because he's a pretty intellectual dude.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just
I'd like to think that it's, I mean, a lot of bad things have happened in your life to you
Yeah.
specifically and people you loved, right? And it's sometimes difficult to.
Well, exactly. So it's that, and like not being able to logically understand it and to just make it all make sense.
Yeah.
So he's like, and like also knowing the event of him almost dying and trying to take his life and drowning.
Right.
And then being rescued from that and having that in perspective.
Yeah.
And just being like, okay, I know that there is good in the Pantheon.
Yeah, there's a force out there that's like trying to make things right.
Yeah. So like desperately reaching out and just kind of like, look, you proved me wrong once before.
Yeah.
Can you, and like, I didn't even realize it at the time. Can you help me out a little bit right now?
Yeah, I mean, I think we maybe had said that you don't remember what happened with like the conversation you had with Mikhail at death, but maybe it comes back to you now for a moment. The things he said to you specifically, like, I'm saving you because you're a good man and your friend, like there are people here who need you, and you are like of all the people that I have seen almost pass on, like there is something in you that like. And I love that you're the one who got that spark too, because that's really what it kind of ties all back to. And if you succeed this, it'll be like your soul was always strong enough to do this without the potential. Without that, whatever juice was given in that temple, right? It was always like this. I love that answer. Let's hope the dice agree.
That's religion, right?
Yep.
With religion!
Advantage. Wow, it's a really good thing that you had that advantage. Do you want to roll that guidance for us? I assume you're attempting such a thing.
How's it 31?
30. Yeah, 31 is a pretty good number for this. And I think that's exactly what you get back, right? You reach out.
You get back, 31 is a pretty good number.
Yeah. No. You reach out and it's a very difficult thing to do because you're breaking through this like divination or whatever, right? But there's a moment there where the Pantheon reaches out to you and their answer is basically like, Like, you don't need us right now. We have already given you, or God, or whoever, right, who put that soul in you has already given you everything you need. Like, you are the person we have sent for this moment. You are destined to do this. Do it. Save your friend, right?
Then Audrey's just like, oh, bet.
Yeah. So I think we see Audrin. And we don't actually see him do this. This is all internal. But like, you reach down deep inside yourself, you pull out this glowing orb of your soul, and you shine that holy light on this little pearl, and the shadow that's always kind of been swirling around inside the thing, as we've described shadow pearls before, it's always kind of like this weird kind of shadowy vortex that kind of. And you even you probably hear whispers of hunger and like must consume, and. It's not that like you give it something to eat. It's not like it's eating the holy light or anything like that. You are chasing away a sad, pathetic, like gangly creature that has no business even existing, and it flees from the shining brilliance of your soul. And now you know you have a moment in which you need to infuse this item with your own soul. And I don't know if you know whether or not it will kill you or not, but you do know that if you do it, Deli will be saved, right? And I think that's the choice that Audrin is making. He doesn't know necessarily if he's going to live after this.
Yeah.
He's choosing to potentially sacrifice himself for Deli.
I'm turning the shadow pearl into a light pearl.
Right, exactly. Yeah. Now make an Arcana check for us.
I feel like I'm replacing the need to consume with the need to create.
Oh, love it. Yes. This idea, because it's also kind of like chaos versus order still, right? It's pure chaos being like, I purely consume, I destroy everything I touch. I can't build anything because I have nothing, no foundation on which to do anything like that. But with order, you have a building block, right? Start that process, create something worthwhile. You're not just consuming everything, you're actually producing. I love it. Yeah, go ahead and make an Arcana check. Just take advantage for all the cool mumbo jumbo. Ooh, 24. Roll that guidance.
25.
All right.
25.
Only a 25. Again, this is a very difficult thing to do. I do think it works. And I don't think Audrin dies. But I think there's a cost or some consequence. Do you have a thought on what that might be? Like, I think you've done two things. You have purged the Shadow Pearl of chaos. You've infused it with order, thus saving Deli from this need to consume. But you've given up something of yourself in the process. What is that?
Oh, this is a bummer. I don't like this, but I'm going to say it anyway.
Okay, all right, yeah.
Maybe I lose the ability to save Surge.
Yeah. That is a bummer answer. I do like the idea that, like, you know that this is the choice you're making, right? Like, you were always holding on hope that you could continue making Warforged and that you could figure this out and, like, use that spark to keep doing it somehow and figure it out. I do like the idea that the dream kind of dies.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And that
really
Audrin's like actively making that choice.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I agree. It is a bummer answer, but like, I think bummer in the exact right way.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, let's go for it. I think that's what it is, right? It's like I'm trying to think of a good example of like metaphor or something here for what's happening.
Well, it's sacrificing the good for the great kind of thing.
Right. Yes. Yeah. Right. You're giving up something that is good on its own and would be worthwhile to pursue, but you realize there's actually something better here, and it's that my friend lives. And if that's what it takes, it's not like this is always the choice that someone would have to make. It's not a bad thing that you're giving up, but in this particular scenario, it's the right thing to do because there's a greater good. Okay, yeah, we can figure out kind of more details of what that might look like and what that means for Audrin. But I like that choice. So I think we get Deli. We see the outside of the vault again, right? And Deli is banging on the door, right? And then slowly she and starts to shrink, and then goes back to Dragonborn form and kind of slumps against the door. And then we just see Audrin step up beside her, like to her left. And like put a hand on her shoulder or whatever as she slumps next to the door. And it's a very weird feeling, Deli. It's not that you're full.
That I'm not hungry.
It's that you're not hungry. And it's not really a feeling you've ever... It's just like you don't know how to process this feeling. This is like how normal people feel about hunger. Like there's maybe a small twinge in the back. Like if you're really focused on it, maybe you could sense that, oh yeah, I could eat something. But like for you, it's like the difference between having like a million nerve endings and then suddenly like they're hyperactive or whatever and can feel so much, and then suddenly having a normal person's sense of touch, and you don't know how to process that difference at all. Yeah.
She's like, what did you do?
Audrin goes, I made it right.
Feels weird.
Audrin, you're holding in your hands a light, like kind of misty looking pearl.
Can I put this one in my bag of holding?
You may.
My bag of holding.
You do it and you die.
Could we? I'm not to be a downer, but could we potentially wrap it up soon? It is very late.
It is, yes. So, I'm trying to think. I don't think having a big showdown with Alisan and Xiaofa is even interesting at this point. So I'm wondering if there's a way that we can just actually wrap season here somehow. I don't know. What do you guys think?
Audrin uses... Maybe that sunbeam Audrin cast blew a hole in the wall and we escaped through there.
I do like the idea that like the pearl was the center of the whole magic cage thing. So maybe once it's gone, like the vault does not work anymore and you guys can go away normally using whatever spell you have at your disposal.
It would either be the transport through plants or windwalk.
Mm-hmm.
But we still have to get past the two on the other side of the door who are probably very angry and are actually probably trying to open the door and come at us right now.
That's why I was saying, like, maybe the sunbeam Audrin cast blew a hole in the wall.
That could be the answer. I'll just posit to you guys as one of the last questions here as we just wrap up. Like, are you guys interested in actually fighting these people? Because I feel like that was the end, right? That was the climax of this whole arc.
I mean, here's the thing. I have 8th level spells. We could say that the Shadow Pearls was making the magic. It's just a normal room now. Deli blows a hole in the wall. We escape through there. Bada bing, bada boom, we're done.
I think I like that answer. We can always have a final showdown with Alisan and Xiaofa.
Oh, we're coming back.
Right.
We are coming back.
Well, so I think by the time you actually come back, like if you decide to come back like tomorrow, they're gonna like hike it out of here. Like they're not gonna deal with this. Especially if this experiment went this wrong. I think Xiaofa and Alisan are both terrified at what this means, right? Because they can, like, Xiaofa specifically can sense like what happened, and he's like, that's not supposed to, like, that should not have happened. Like, what are we even supposed to do? And so I think we just, like, they all pack it up. They're like, we're out of here. We need to go. We'll go to the abyssal realm. Like, we're out.
It's okay. Right? Let them run, because now we have the thing that they were using to track us. Because I stole their orb.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think this should be the end of the season, right?
Yeah.
I think we wrap there. We can do, the denouement of this stuff at the beginning of the season.
I mean, if they're just gonna run away anyway, I almost like the idea of like we open the door and then we're like getting ready for a fight. And
and they're not even there. Yeah.
And I'm like, oh man,
I love it.
I go and look for the pistols. I look for the super pistols. See if.
Oh, yeah. You know what? I'm fine with that. You can get Surge's body, if only to relay it to rest. and you can get some Hellfire pistols, my friend.
Yes, finally, magic pistols.
Yeah. Cool. Well, yeah, I think that's a good place to end it, right? Like, this was completely all Deli and Audrin today, but I was personally, I think that's probably what it needed to be, right?
And it was more Audrin than Deli.
Right. Yeah. I was really happy with the way that went down. I think it was a great ending to the season, and we can, because like again, the goal was never really to defeat the Crimson Fleet here. It was to save Deli, and you did it, right? So cool. Yeah, I think we should wrap there. We'll for going on after show because we're really late. But we'll have plenty of time to talk about what happened here and whatnot in the next season when we come back to Terra Invicta. I think we're going to be taking a break here because it's likely that Alyssa will have her baby soon, and we don't want to just start a new season before we do that. I guess if we do get a chance to do a Thursday before you have the baby, maybe we'll do a epilogue session for this season and get some denouement stuff. But if that doesn't end up happening, we can always do that at the beginning of next season. All right, cool. We'll go ahead and call it there. Thanks for playing, guys. Thanks for being good sports, Alyssa and Emily, and just kind of watching the events unfold. I was really happy with the way this turned out, and I hope you all are too. We're out. Adios.